corporate lawyer Peter Banning is a workaholic who neglects his wife and kids and has no memories of his childhood. While visiting his grandmother Wendy in London, his two kids are kidnapped by someone claiming to be Captain Hook. Faced with the return of an old enemy, Wendy informs Peter of his true identity and glorious past, and Peter must believe in magic once again in the criminally underrated 1991 fantasy epic Hook. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
And I'm Colton Jenkins.
And this is Filmgazm. Happy Wednesday and welcome to the Filmgazm podcast. Today's episode is Colton's first pick on the cycle, our revolving list of personal picks from the team, and he couldn't have chosen a more exciting film to discuss today. Hook is a lifelong favorite of mine, and I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. So let's get right to it. Why did you choose Hook?
Because it's the best movie ever made. What are you talking about? I don't know, man. This is just one of the movies that I could probably watch over and over and over again. And every time I watch it, I pick up on something different. And it might just be because I look a little too deep into things, but I think people overlook a lot of things in this movie, and that's why I really, really like it. Plus, I mean, Robin Williams, fantastic. Yeah, just a great movie.
It is a great movie, and I don't know why more people don't see that. I'll never understand the just general disdain for this film by a lot of people. I mean, it's like we'll get to the scores, critic scores in a bit here, but it shocked me. I mean, I always assumed this was a classic, and I guess it's just a classic to me and you, apparently.
I guess I don't know what these people are doing. Every time when I read a review that's like negative, I always wonder, like, maybe I'm in an alternate universe and people are watching a different movie than I am. Like maybe they're watching Dougal or something and it's just named Hook or something. I don't know.
Whenever I read it, like whenever I look at somebody who's like, this is trash, this is a terrible Peter Pan movie, I'm like, who hurt you?
Exactly.
Somebody didn't hug you as a child. I don't know where your innocence is, but it's gone.
I don't know. Those people need to. Yeah. I was gonna say grow up, but that I think defeats the purpose of this movie. They need to grow down, shrink. I don't know. I think Peter Pan is a weird property that I don't think has really ever been done correctly all that well. Like every Peter Pan version has issues. I mean, there's the Disney one with its like super racist Native American scenes. Yeah. There's the 2003 one, which is just vaguely obnoxious. They tried to do like a weird metaphysical one a couple years ago called Wendy that did not do well. Oh yeah, with all the kids on the island.
Yeah, they tried to make it some kind of Lord of the Flies thing, and I don't think that resonated with people.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen that one, but the one with oh my gosh, the Hugh Jackman, that one is.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Pan, that was terrible.
Yeah, that was awful. I don't know what people were thinking, man. Oh god.
And why is it Blackbeard? I mean, why do that? Why are they singing Nirvana in like a mine?
I'm so stupid.
I completely blocked out that movie. I hadn't thought about that in years. Yeah, but it's weird. Peter Pan, King Arthur, and Robin Hood for me always seem to be getting like shit films. Like somebody tries to say like, I got this. I'm going to ignore the source material and do my own spin on this. And it never works.
Robin Hood. Robin Hood has one of my favorite quotes in all of movie history. And that's when Alan Rickman is like, I'll cut your heart out with a spoon. And he's like, why a spoon, cousin? And he's like, because it's dull, you twit, it'll hurt more.
One of my favorite random quotes, and I don't know if it's in the director's cut or the theatrical, but he's so pissed, he randomly goes like, and cancel Christmas. It just walks out.
Oh, that's great.
That movie's terrible, but it's got its moments.
Yeah.
But Hook works. I don't know why it works. I think it's just this Spielberg magic juice that very few directors have, that they can just, snap their fingers and all of a sudden, we can fly.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So the idea for Hook came mostly from screenwriter James V. Hart, who started writing the script after his kids randomly asked him one night at the dinner table, "Daddy, did Peter Pan ever grow up?" That's literally where this came from. Like, his kid was like, "Hey, whatever happened to Peter Pan?" And Dad's like, "That's a good question. What did happen to Peter Pan?" And never stopped thinking about it.
That's a deep question. I would rather my kids ask me like, what happens when we die, than did Peter Pan ever grow up? Like,
well, now we can just show, well, he did, and this is what happened. You can just show them Hook.
Yep.
So that happened. James Hart was like, all right, let's do this. From there, Steven Spielberg, who'd been trying to crack a Peter Pan story since the early 80s, joined the project, and the rest is history. So Spielberg was like trying to do something with Peter Pan. He wanted to do a musical with Michael Jackson, which fell apart. Thank God.
Oh God, no.
The last thing we need is Peter Pan, is a Michael Jackson Peter Pan dancing around a bunch of children.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Good God. So Spielberg tried to do that. It fell through. James Hart was like, I'm going to write this Hook movie. And the rest, they came together, and production was not easy. The film's budget ballooned from 48 million to 80 million.
Oh,
this thing got out of hand really quickly. A lot of it was, they had big stars attached, big names were attached to this thing. Production design was insane. Visual effects were insane. Everything was huge. And Spielberg wanted it to look real. He wanted it to look nice. So he spared no expense, as John Hammond would say.
wow. Yeah, the set design for this movie is everything about this movie is why it's in, I have to say, probably my favorite movie of all time. But the set design is so perfect. Like the pirate town, it looks like a bunch of pirates was like, oh, this will work. I'll use my boat. It just, I don't know, everything about the, yeah. Okay. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep rambling.
Oh no, that's what we do. My favorite weird thing about this, and I don't know if this cost more or if this was just like favors, but there's so many random cameos from musicians in this movie. Phil Collins has a moment. Jimmy Buffett has a scene. Rich Crosby from Crosby, Stills and Nash. He's one of the pirates who like yells, "Long live the Hook!" Like, why are there so many 70s musicians in this movie? They can't have been cheap.
Oh.
Well, there was that, and then also working with kids was problematic for Spielberg. Kids are not easy to control on a set, and you have to do multiple takes because these kids aren't exactly sitting in their trailers and remembering their lines. They're just fucking around in costumes.
Yeah, I can see that. I always what was I just watching? Oh, I was watching the Harry Potter Magic Returns thing on HBO.
Yeah.
And they talked about that for a while, about how like you have to be really patient when working with kids because they're kids, yeah, they're gonna goof around. But yeah.
You're goofing around, but also you can't just like scream at them like you're Christian Bale and someone's fucking up your lights. Like you can't like hurt them emotionally. You gotta be incredibly, like take 58, like that was good, but let's try to say what's on the page. I can't imagine. Every, all that film, all that cost adds up. And then additionally, Julia Roberts, legendarily hard to handle on this set.
Really?
Oh yeah. They called her Tinker Hell.
Oh God.
Yeah. She had just done Pretty Woman. Got an Oscar nomination for that. It was a huge hit. So she had a big ego. And just because of the way of Tinkerbell it's a green screen character for the most part. So she's not on set with other actors. So she got a little stir crazy, started feeling isolated. She took off to like some island because an engagement fell through and she kind of panicked. Like shit went crazy for Julia Roberts on this set.
Holy shit. I didn't know that. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's kind of the biggest scandal surrounding this movie is like Julia Roberts nearly tanked her career by doing this.
Oh my God.
And apparently when she found out about the Tinker Hell thing, like she felt so betrayed. by Spielberg for like calling her a mean name. And I'm like, you kind of earned it, Jules. Like, it's on you.
Yeah, she did. And Tinkerbell is, I hate her in every iteration of Peter Pan. I hate Tinkerbell so much.
I think it's weird that she's like lusting after him the whole movie.
I'm going to get into that later.
Okay.
Yeah. And Wendy, it's gross. Okay. I want to talk about that later, but yeah, it's disgusting. And I read a theory online that like the whole movie is Tinkerbell's plan to like get Peter to fall in love with her, but it was interesting, but I don't know if I believe it, but they had some good points in the theory. So
considering she is shown in the movie at being really like good at manipulating Hook, I wouldn't put that past her. Like just planting that idea in his head, that's fucked up, but that's
that's why they were saying, because like Hook left the Lost Boys alone. Like he didn't touch her home over there. And he was really easy to convince to let, like when Tinkerbell and Hook are talking on the boat, Captain Hook is really easy to convince, but I have my own thoughts of why he's easy to convince, but I'll get into that later.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to unpack with this movie. I'm excited to get into that discussion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hook is inspired by the timeless story Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, of course. It was written as a play in 1904, became a novel in 1911, and there have been many adaptations of the story on film. Disney's got another one, live action remake in the works right now, Peter Pan and Wendy. Jude Law is going to play Captain Hook.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were making another Peter Pan. Well, I got to go see that because I think Jude Law is Captain Hook. Maybe.
It could work. He's hot stuff right now.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Peter and Wendy are unknowns, so fresh kid actors. I'm hoping Tiger Lily is not a white lady this time. Probably be best to just avoid the Native American stuff altogether.
Yeah, that would be smart. I saw this meme and it was like every young white male in movies now, it's going to go to Tom Holland. So Tom Holland, we can just assume right now is going to be Peter Pan. I hope not, but you know.
I don't think we should have like a 16-year-old Peter Pan played by a 30-year-old white actor. I don't think that's a good idea.
No, not at all.
He's got to be like, 10, 11 years old. You got to be a kid, not a teenager. It'd be weird. And I think it'll work out. I mean, their track record with adapting their live action or their cartoons to live action has been pretty good. There've been a couple misses, but overall, I've enjoyed most of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oscar-winning director Steven Spielberg helmed Hook. And if you don't know who Steven Spielberg is, what are you doing listening to a movie podcast? Like, you've got homework. He's the guy who gave us Indiana Jones, Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T., and so many more. He's won 3 Oscars, 2 Best Director for Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan, and 1 Best Picture for producing Schindler's List. He's also nominated for Best Director for Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Saving Private Ryan, Munich, Lincoln, and West Side Story. And he was nominated for Best Picture for E.T., The Color Purple, Saving Private Ryan, Munich, Letters from Iwo Jima, War Horse, Lincoln, Bridge of Spies, The Post, and West Side Story.
I didn't know he did The Post. That's a really good one.
I like that movie. I think it's a little underrated.
Yeah.
So Spielberg is just, he's Steven Spielberg. I mean, we just did Jaws on Oscar Sunday and pretty much just like kind of stroked this guy for 2 hours. I mean, he's made so few bad movies that, I mean, his name is synonymous with film itself, with pop culture. It's just, he's Spielberg.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ever since you let me, do episodes on this podcast, I'm realizing how little film I've actually seen. And you're going to hate me for this, but I've actually never seen Jaws. But I know. But wow. one of my coworkers, he asked me what my favorite movie was. And I said, Hook. And he said, no, it's not. It's Jaws. And I was like, I've never seen Jaws. And he was like, that's fine. Jaws is everyone's favorite movie, whether they know it or not. And I was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense.
I love that reaction to, what's your favorite movie? It's this. No, it's not. It's this.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I got to start doing that to people.
There you go.
That's great. But yeah, you should definitely carve out some time for Jaws. It's one of the greatest movies of all time.
I definitely will. Yeah.
That's great. I don't remember the last person I met who hasn't seen Jaws. It's like one of those universal classics.
I'm sorry. I've seen Piranha. In fact, I saw Piranha at this like party thing. They had this giant blow up projector screen, and I watched it in a pool while it was being projected, and it was awful. I wanted to get out of the pool, like, yeah, it was awful.
They do that at Lake Travis for Jaws. It's called Jaws on the Water, and they do a giant blow up screen. They have on the lake, they have pool floaties and stuff, and they have divers grabbing people's legs.
That's awful.
I think you have to sign a waiver to be like if you drown, it's not our fault.
Yes, it is. What? Okay. Oh my God.
I've always wanted to do that, but it's like super expensive and it sells out so quickly. And of course, with the pandemic, it hasn't happened in a long time. Yeah. But I want to do that. So that's on my bucket list. Jaws on the Water at Lake Travis. I want to do that so bad.
That would be so cool.
Next up, Oscar winner Robin Williams plays Peter Banning, the lawyer who was once Peter Pan. Williams won his Oscar for his performance in Good Will Hunting, was also nominated for his performances in Good Morning Vietnam, Dead Poets Society, and The Fisher King. He was one of the most iconic, respected, and likable comedians of all time. Some of his major roles include Aladdin, Mrs. Doubtfire, Jumanji, The Birdcage, Awakenings, and the TV series Mork and Mindy, where he got his big break. Williams tragically died in 2014 at 63 years old from a suicide following a debilitating dementia diagnosis, and the world never felt the same again.
He was diagnosed with dementia?
He was diagnosed with a very rare, horrific form of dementia and decided, I'm not going to rot from the inside out. I'm taking my own way out, which I can respect.
Wow. I did not know that. Oh my God. That's awful, man.
Yeah. His whole career, his whole life was built on his quickness, on his improvisation. He was so fast, and to lose that, I can't imagine what he felt in those final months, knowing where it was going. Yeah. I remember I was in the parking lot at HEB when I got a text from my buddy Caleb, like, dude, if you've seen the news, and I looked it up and I'm like, holy shit. It was one of the moments of the world hasn't felt the same since. Like, we lost a lot of heart that day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He was such a big part of my childhood, like not just Hook, but Aladdin, Jumanji, like these were big movies for me growing up, and I've missed him every day.
Yeah, he's like a light, I'd say, especially to I think him playing Peter Pan personifies everything that Robin Williams did. I mean, he didn't just do work for children, obviously, but just being I don't know, a ray of happiness, to be corny, but yeah, that's what he was.
Yeah, it's still true. Yeah, he's still, and his films are gonna last forever. I remember I watched his acceptance speech when he won the Oscar for Good Will Hunting, and he said he wants to thank his dad, who told him when he said he wanted to be an actor, he said, "That's great, but make sure you get a backup job like welding." Just never stopped. He never stopped. He was the best, and I love him as Peter Pan.
Oh yeah,
it was nearly Tom Hanks. It was this close.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess they wanted you need somebody likable and charming to play Peter Pan, and it's either Robin Williams or Tom Hanks in 1984.
Exactly, one of those two. Yeah. I'm glad it was Robin Williams, though. I don't know if Tom Hanks could have brought the same childlike aspect to the character.
I don't know. I mean, he did just do Big, so I could see why he was considered.
Yeah, but can he crow?
I guess we'll never know.
That's the question.
That's great. Oscar winner Dustin Hoffman plays Captain James Hook, and is arguably the best to ever do it. He is the star of this film. It's amazing. I don't even see Dustin Hoffman in that costume.
Exactly. Yeah. His voice is so soothing. His voice is so soothing when he's playing likable characters. Not saying that Hook isn't a likable character in this movie, because I personally think he is, but when he's evil in this movie, he's kind of intimidating. Like the way that his soothing voice is like, I don't know how it's like sandpaper, you know. Yeah.
I think it's funny that like there are moments where like you're captivated by him. You're mesmerized. Like he's such a charming pirate. But then there's moments you're like, oh, this man's killed a lot of children.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. Captain Hook, the character of Captain Hook, man. He's evil. Like every like Disney villain has, is evil. But Captain Hook is murdering children. And in this movie, he kidnaps Peter Pan's children. That's horrible. And in the Disney cartoon, he sends a present to Peter Pan, and it's a bomb, dude. He sends a 13-year-old child a bomb. Villainous, man.
Yeah, he's a monster, and this film never shies away from that. He's very much, the kind of uncrowned king of Neverland that everyone fears, like dramatically.
Oh yeah.
Except Smee. Smee is just there.
Yeah, I love Smee. Smee's chilling. Smee's along for the ride. I like at the very end of the not at the very end, but when there's the war going on at the end of the movie, Smee runs inside of the cabin, and he's like Smee's me. What about Smee? He's like, for the first time, he's like, oh wait, I'm a person. What do I want? And he starts taking all the jewelry and stuff to leave. Yeah, it's great.
I do love that. Like a very long friendship is like about to crumble, and Smee's like, well, what do I want? And his immediate instinct is, I'm going to rob this asshole.
Yeah. I mean, he's been eating bites out of his food his whole life. So I mean, it doesn't surprise me that he's going to rob him.
That scene is so funny when he's just like preparing a plate, just taking a bite out of everything.
Oh my God.
But Dustin Hoffman, he won his 2 Oscars for his performances in Kramer versus Kramer and Rain Man, both great movies.
Oh, yeah.
And was nominated for The Graduate, Midnight Cowboy, Lenny, Tootsie, and Wag the Dog. He was also in Marathon Man, Straw Dogs, All the President's Men, Meet the Fockers, Outbreak, and Kung Fu Panda as the voice of Master Shifu.
Have you seen? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Have you seen Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell?
A long time ago.
He plays like a psychologist, psychiatrist. He plays a psychologist in that movie, and he's very good in that movie. If you haven't seen it in a long time, you should, I think do a refresh. And if you haven't seen the movie, you need to watch it. It's really good.
I watched it when it came out. I remember thinking like I thought it was going to be funnier because it was Will Ferrell. I didn't realize I was going in for a dramedy, but now I'll be prepared for that.
Oh yeah, I think I actually cried at the end of that movie, and that's the only Will Ferrell movie I've ever cried in. Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman's got a rep for being, a meticulous perfectionist, difficult, but who doesn't? It's Hollywood, and his performances speak for themselves. I mean, he's a 2-time Oscar winner. Kramer versus Kramer brought tears to my eyes, and Hook is just beautiful. His performance in this. My favorite Dustin Hoffman story. I told this on a recent episode. I don't remember which show it was, but it was on the set of Marathon Man, where Dustin Hoffman is working with Laurence Olivier, one of the most like iconic, respected actors of all time. And there's a scene where Dustin Hoffman has to look like he just ran 2 miles. So he goes and runs 2 miles. And he comes up to Laurence Olivier, covered in sweat, panting. And Olivier goes to him and says, next time you could try acting. I mean, to get shut down by Olivier like that is just perfect.
Oh my God.
Method acting. I don't agree with it.
Method acting? No. Oh my gosh. Fucking Jared Leto and his quote unquote method acting for Joker, dude. I think it ruined. I don't think it ruined method acting because to me, method acting has always been like weird. I don't want to say icky, but I guess icky, yeah. But
I get preparing for a role. I get wanting to get into a character's mindset, but when you're just like intruding on other people's lives and creating unnecessary problems for yourself and the people around you, it's not performance anymore. It's psychosis.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I don't think. I think like Joaquin Phoenix, he's a great actor, but he can't all be there, man. He's got maybe I'd say maybe like a couple screws a little bit loose, you know.
Yeah. Jared Leto, especially like recently, you know, on Morbius, it was just it was discovered that he was actually walking around in crutches like the whole time. Like he fucked up his gait by walking in crutches on. It's Morbius. It's a Sony superhero movie. You don't need that kind of commitment.
Did you see it yet?
I did, yes.
Oh God, I don't even know if I should.
You don't need to.
Okay. Yeah.
Not for those prices. I recommend waiting for like a $3 rental.
That's what I'll probably end up doing. Yeah.
But yeah, Hoffman is one of, you know, he's known to be a method actor. He's done crazy shit. I know on the set of Kramer versus Kramer, he slapped the shit out of Meryl Streep to get her to cry. And she was like, that was great for the performance, but don't you ever touch me again.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He's never worked with him since because she was like, that was crazy.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. But we'll always have Captain Hook.
He slapped Meryl Streep.
Well, this was in the 70s when she wasn't Meryl Streep. You know, she was just starting out. So he's like, I can slap her and get away with it.
Holy shit, dude.
Just fucked up in itself. Yeah. Pretty wild.
I'll never forgive her for what she did to Anne Hathaway, though.
I've seen a good chunk of that movie. I've yet to watch the whole thing.
It's a really good movie. I guess it is a chick flick, but it's so good, man.
When I have a stretch of free time, I want to just marathon all of Meryl Streep's Oscar-nominated films because that's like a 30-something films.
Oh yeah.
I like to see like, did she earn all these? I feel like she didn't earn all of those. I mean, that's crazy. You can't be that consistent.
She just like looked at the people doing the nominations and they're like, oh, fuck.
That's how it works sometimes. That's how I feel like it works sometimes. We're like, oh, Streep's got another one. There's one. Speaking of Oscar-winning actresses, Julia Roberts plays Tinkerbell. She won her Oscar for her performance in Erin Brockovich, was also nominated for Steel Magnolias, Pretty Woman, and August Osage County. Some of her other films include My Best Friend's Wedding, Michael Collins, The Pelican Brief, Flatliners, Notting Hill, and Ocean's 11. And I've kind of always hated her. I've never liked Julia Roberts.
I was just about to ask you if you like her. I don't know what it is about her, but I don't. Every time she's in a movie, I kind of roll my eyes a little bit. I don't like her.
She's obnoxious and thinks she's God's gift to acting, which I don't like. She treats people like shit. And I don't like her films have never been in my wheelhouse anyway. Like she does a lot of, you know, rom-coms and chick flicks, and I just never cared for that stuff. I find it kind of derivative.
Yeah.
But even in films like this, I'm like, she's knowing, you know, what she's doing on production and just causing all sorts of hell.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts, you know, your rep. Like, you know, take for instance, you know, the recent Oscars controversy with Will Smith. Like that's going to taint every film he's ever done for a lot of people. Yeah, it sucks when you can't control your outside image and it seeps into your performances. Like you might as well hang it up.
I'm gonna say one thing about that. He needs to leave Jada. That's all I'm gonna say. Stop right there.
That is the most toxic fucking relationship I've seen on the public scene in a very long time.
I just said he needs to leave her. I got to look out now. I'm gonna get my shit rocked. Walking on the street, he's gonna come find me. I said his wife's name.
That would be kind of hilarious if like Will Smith fucking has like Terminator like ears and he heard that and now he's on his way to kick your ass.
Oh my God. I would be so fucking scared.
I would love if it happens mid-episode. Like we're talking about Hook. All of a sudden, Will Smith barges in, slaps the shit out of you.
If I see him running in the street towards my house, I'm just turning on iRobot and just pretending I'm a super fan. Like,
that film needs at least one.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You didn't like it? You didn't like iRobot?
I don't know. I watched it when it came out. I had it on DVD as a kid. I haven't seen it in over a decade.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a lot of fond memories of it. Like I don't remember big things from it. I just remember this one scene where Will Smith like fake sneezes and says, "I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit." I don't remember pretty much anything else. Just that.
I think this scene in the movie, if you remember, it's when he's like interrogating the robot, and then the robot he's like telling him about emotion, and then the robot gets angry. He slams his fist on the table and he's like, "I did not murder him."
Okay, I remember.
Like, yeah, that's anger. Yeah, I was like, it's a pretty cool scene.
Okay, maybe I need to give that another shot.
Plus, Jada looks like the robot in that movie. You know, pink balls and everything. So you know,
Jesus Christ. Oh, now he heard that one.
I know. Oh, there he is.
Oh boy. Next up, Oscar nominee Bob Hoskins plays Mr. Smee, Hook's first mate. Hoskins was nominated for his performance in Mona Lisa. Some of his most well-known performances include The Long Good Friday, Super Mario Brothers, Brazil, Mermaids, Enemy at the Gates, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Hoskins died in 2014 at 71 years old from a bout with pneumonia. And I've always adored Bob Hoskins. He's been one of my favorite character actors forever, ever since I saw Roger Rabbit when I was a kid.
Yes, for sure. He's so every character he plays, even Vance, Roger Rabbit, is that the character's name?
Valiant.
Even Valiant's character, he just always seems like he's in a good mood.
Yeah, well, it's hard to act alongside cartoons, and I thought he pulled it off perfectly. Like I believed it.
I want to take him out to coffee. Not Valiant, you know.
No. I love him as Smee. I love this just like kind of hopelessly devoted like goober who just loves Hook to death.
Goober. That is a good way to describe Smee. There we go. Goober. That's what he is. Fucking goober.
There was a movie he did in 2001 called Enemy at the Gates, which was a biopic of Russian sharpshooter Vasily Zaitsev during World War II.
Yeah.
And he plays Hoskins plays Nikita Khrushchev and goes full Cockney English on the accent. It's hilarious hearing Khrushchev be like, "You fucking what, mate? I tell you what, mate." Like this is so weird.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Jude Law plays the sharpshooter, and all the Russians are English.
What?
It's
what?
And all the Germans are American. Like Ed Harris plays the German sharpshooter.
Oh my god! I have to watch this movie now.
It's so accidentally hilarious. There's a random sex scene in the trenches that makes no sense. Like why are they fucking now? Like shit's about to go down. This is not the moment.
Oh my god, that's great.
It's an oddball. But I always remember just seeing Hoskins like storm in there and be like, you're gonna die for the right reasons, yeah. We're Russians, aren't we?
Fucking comrade. My god. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, he plays he played an Italian plumber just perfectly. You know what I mean? So obviously he's gonna play a Russian,
I can't wait to watch Super Mario Brothers eventually for Beyond the Bad. I mean, I've seen clips and I'm like, who made this shit? Like who played Mario and was like, I know exactly what to do for my movie.
Oh my god. It's such a bad movie. It's it's an enjoyable bad movie.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper. I mean, that alone's got to be like worth watching for a little bit.
That's all you need.
Next up, Oscar winner Maggie Smith plays Granny Wendy, Peter's oldest friend and now grandmother. Although Wendy would have liked to go further than that. We'll get to
disgusting.
It's pretty fucked up. Like, I can't have you, but go ahead, take my granddaughter. Just, I'm getting ahead of myself, but we'll get to it.
Oh, we definitely will, because I realized, I know you're gonna think I'm stupid for realizing this on this rewatch, even though I've seen this movie too many times to count. But I realized something that makes it even more gross. It actually makes sort of the whole situation kind of gross. But we'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay, I can't wait. Smith won her Oscars for her performances in The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie and California Suite. She was also nominated for Othello, Travels with My Aunt, A Room with a View, and Gosford Park. These days, she's known mostly as either Professor McGonagall from the Harry Potter films or Violet, Dowager Countess of Grantham on Downton Abbey, which won her 3 Emmys and is somehow now a film franchise.
Best perform. Have you seen Downton Abbey?
I have not.
It is such a good show. Like, it's not like something that I would typically go for in a TV show or a movie, but it's so good, man. And the character she plays, I think, is my favorite performance that she's done. Even better than McGonagall, I think. She's perfect. I cannot see her now and not see the Dowager Countess, like, at all.
Interesting. I've never bothered with Downton Abbey. It just is so outside my wheelhouse, but I don't know, maybe.
It's done so well. Like, it's just disgusting, like, drama, but it gets you involved. It just grabs you by its claws so well.
Maybe I'll have to check it out, but if I watch Downton Abbey before I watch Chucky, Caleb will literally kill me. So we'll put that on the back burner.
There you go. Yeah.
Now to talk about the kids for a bit. Charlie Korsmo plays Jack, Peter's son. He was also in Dick Tracy, What About Bob, and Can't Hardly Wait before retiring from acting to become an assistant professor of law at Case Western Reserve University School of Law. So, ironically, Peter Pan's kid grew up, became a lawyer.
That is hilarious.
And I remembered it from Dick Tracy. His name's Kid. Like, there wasn't a lot of thought put into that character, but he stood out. And then Amber Scott plays Maggie, Peter's daughter. And this is the only movie she's ever done.
Are you serious?
Yep. There was no career. And I looked up her, I looked up her IMDb and everything. And it upset me that she is smoking hot.
I just found the picture. I was going to say.
Yeah. I'm like, I've seen her as a little girl my entire life in this movie. And now I'm like, I don't like those feelings.
Oh, God. Okay. Anyway, I mean, it can't be any grosser than what Wendy does to Peter. But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
But yeah, this is her only film. I guess, and then she performed the song When You're Alone at the Oscars. Like, so not a lot of the kids didn't really go anywhere, which is interesting.
I'm surprised because for kids, they weren't bad at all.
Yeah, they weren't. I don't really have anything on the Lost Boys. I don't think any of them really went anywhere either.
Well, except Rufio's.
Oh, Rufio.
I guess he's not really in anything now, not that I know of. But I mean, he voiced Prince Zuko in Avatar.
Oh, right on. I completely accidentally left out Rufio on my script here. But Good shout. Rufio's a point of contention for some people. A lot of people are bothered by him.
Yeah, I am too.
I don't mind him. I mean, someone's got to protect these kids from pirates. It might as well be the skunk kid.
I guess. But then he fucking dies. What a loser.
Well, last words. I know something we're gonna be talking about soon.
Yeah.
Hook has an IMDb score of 6.8, Rotten Tomatoes score of only 29%. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's awful. So to be fair, the critic score is 29, but the audience score I think was 76, right? Yeah.
About that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Something.
Yeah. I don't I don't know how Rotten Tomatoes work. I don't know how it works. Do they like rewatch older films and like give it a new score depending on how well it does now? Or
The way it works is they've got a giant like team of reviewers, and these people review movies through all time. And if it's positive, it's a fresh score, and if it's negative, it's a negative score. And the score for a movie fluctuates depending on the amount of negative or positive scores, and that's constantly changing for every film. I mean, The Godfather used to be 100%. Now it's like 99% because some schmo didn't like it.
I have something funny about The Godfather. So when I was a senior in high school, I made the mistake, not a mistake. I told my dad that I hadn't seen The Godfather, and he lost his shit. And in order for me to watch The Godfather, I think it was HBO. Someone had this thing called The Godfather Epic, which was all three movies, but they had been edited to be in chronological order. And it's like 5 hours long. It is so long.
If it's Godfather 3 as well, was 3 in there too?
Yes, it was all three movies in chronological order.
That's about 8 hours right there, because they're all about 2.5 hours long. God damn.
Yeah. But it was cool to see because like the beginning of the movie shows like where it all started, which I believe only comes up in like the second movie. I think I'm not really sure.
Yeah, part 2 is half Michael and half young Vito's story.
Yeah, so that was weird when I actually did watch Godfather 1. I was like, whoa, where the fuck is the beginning of the movie? I was like, oh no, that's Godfather 2. Holy shit.
That's a neat way to be introduced to The Godfather, though. That epic giant version of the movie. That's crazy.
I honestly think it tainted it though, because like I wanted to go to bed.
I mean, doing it in one sitting. I mean, that's an entire day. I mean, that's
was
impressive.
an entire day. Yeah.
Jesus. God damn. I know recently Coppola released a director's cut of Godfather 3 that's supposedly better. A lot of like people on Al Pacino and Diane Keaton, and like they came out and said like, oh yeah, this is great, but like, of course you said it. Like, you're in the movie.
You're in the movie. Oh, God.
And I haven't seen The Godfather 3 enough to like be able to differentiate, like tell when, like what's different. I've seen it 3 times and it doesn't stick. It's so boring. Yeah. I'll watch it someday.
Yeah.
Despite critical condemnation, Hook grossed over $300 million worldwide on an $80 million budget. So financially, it was a huge hit.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Well
I was
deserved.
very happy to hear that. Yeah, very well deserved. It was also nominated for 5 Oscars. Best art direction, best costume design, best visual effects, best makeup, and best original song for When You're Alone. I think Dustin Hoffman should have been up for best supporting actor, probably won.
Oh, it should have won every single one of those awards except When You're Alone. I'm not bashing it, but I don't like it when kids sing.
It's not a good song. I don't really know why that's there. I think it's become a cult classic at this point, particularly after Robin Williams passing, because a lot of his films were reevaluated, and Hook got a lot more praise than it has in the past.
Oh yeah, I saw that they did a reunion or something. I didn't watch the reunion. I scrolled past it on YouTube. But yeah, I saw they did a reunion, so that's pretty cool.
I remember a few years ago they were doing a Hook feast at the Alamo Drafthouse.
What?
And it was like a 3 or 4 course meal. And I nearly went, and then I saw that tickets were $80 a pop.
Nope.
And I'm like, God, I don't know.
They have the pie, the multicolored pie.
The just multicolored icing pie.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
There's this This is a YouTuber I love because I love to cook. His name is Binging with Babish. And he made that pie from the movie, and the video is hilarious because the entire first half of the video, so the way he makes his videos is he films like from the neck down, waist up, so you can see everything that he's doing to the food. But the first half of the video, he's like narrating what to do, but he is not. There's nothing in the bowls. Like he's like, add 3 cups of flour to the mixing bowl, and there's nothing there because he's using his imagination, and it's great. Yeah, so good.
That's clever. I like that. That's been one of the most, like, I don't know why food always looks so much more appetizing in movies. I've always wanted to try the like vague animal leg that he was eating. Like, I don't know what animal that was.
I want Thud's cheese. Of course, they named the fat black kid Thud. Like, come on, man, what are you doing?
At least he embraces it. He's rolling down stairs to knock down Pyre. I feel like I could withstand the slow momentum of a rolling fat child.
Oh God.
With that, let's get into this thing. Let's talk.
Yes.
So we start out pretty slow at, ironically, a school play of Maggie in Peter Pan. And I love that it's an accurate depiction of a school play because the teacher is off to the side feeding Maggie all of her lines.
Yep. I love that too. It's so good.
And Peter just takes a phone call in the middle of the play. How rude.
That fucking asshole. I was taking notes. Okay, well, before I started watching the movie, I was like, all right, I'm going to take notes on this watch through. I ended up only writing 2 things down. The first thing I wrote down is hang up the phone, asshole. And the second thing I wrote is John fucking Williams. I don't know. I guess I like the soundtrack or something. But
it is. I did exactly the same thing. I'm like, I'm going to take meticulous notes. And then I was like, I know this movie.
Yeah.
This is Hook. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. But yeah, John Williams is a rock star. It speaks to his career that he wasn't nominated for this. And this is one of my favorite scores of his.
It's so good.
Yeah.
The theme of when they come home and you see like the hook, like scratch, like the scratch going all the way up the stairs. It's so good, man. It just has like the dread and the adventure. It's so, oh my God. And you can always tell a John Williams score, like just from
he's the best. He's the GOAT. I love the little teases of Hook's theme at the beginning of the movie when you like just, like when they're panning across the painting and you see Hook in the painting and it's like you hear the little music sting. Yeah. And then my all-time favorite music moment is it's called Presenting the Hook. And it's when Smee and the rest of the pirates are like chanting Hook, going up to give the captain his hook. The music playing there is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. So good, dude.
Yep. I wrote down one thing, and I think it's something worth talking about. Was his name James Hook before he lost his hand?
I don't know. Maybe
because that's pretty like that's some like prophetical shit that like your name's Hook. One day you lose your hand, you become Captain Hook. It's like you should have saw that coming.
So I think Captain Hook, before he got to Neverland, he obviously was a pirate before, because what else? So I don't know. Maybe he had like a hook, but it was like a shitty Halloween costume hook. We had the little handle under the nub. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. On the Once Upon a Time series on ABC, which I keep wanting to like, but that it's so much. It's like 3 good seasons and 4 shitty ones. But in season 3, they go to Neverland because Peter Pan is a psycho kidnapping children.
Oh, okay.
And Captain Hook is his arch nemesis, but Hook's actually a decent guy who got the fuck out of there. And it was a cool take on it. And Captain Hook's real name is Killian Jones, and he only became Captain Hook after he lost his hand in a way I don't remember because I've burned most of that series out of my head. But that was neat. I like the Peter Pan arc in that story. And now I know he wasn't always Captain Hook. When he lost his hand, people just started calling him Captain Hook because people suck.
Yeah, man. That is true. But yeah, I mean, because the story is, Peter Pan cut off Captain Hook's hand, fed it to a crocodile. But so, that's a good question. I haven't thought about that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was like Carl or something. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's still James something.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
But I don't know. Maybe I don't know any famous pirates. We got I know Blackbeard and that's all. So I got nothing. But I'm sure he had a name. He was a person.
James, I have two hands.
He was old Jimmy Two Hands. Then he lost that.
Oh, fuck, man.
That's funny. So Peter's taking this phone call and he's talking right next to his kid, I need a meeting tomorrow. And the kid's like, I got a baseball game. And he's like, well, we'll make it a short one.
Oh.
And then to constantly lie to his kids, be like, my word is my bond. Bullshit.
So, yeah. So he says, my word is my bond. And Captain Hook says it later. But yeah, I'm gonna, yeah. Important bit of dialogue, I think.
Oh yeah, I love the foreshadowing.
Yes.
So at the baseball game, Dad's not there. He sends his assistant with a video camera. That's just as good. I love he has to task her which kid is yours?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. And the guy that plays Jack, the actor that plays Jack, I forgot his name, but he's so good. The look in the poor kid's face when he realizes his dad's not there at the ball game, man, it's heartbreaking.
I find it funny. I recently found out that I always thought my mom enjoyed this movie. Turns out she was just watching it because I was always watching it as a kid. She hates this movie.
What?
And the reason she hates it is because of the kids. She finds Jack and Maggie obnoxious and annoying. And I'm like, those kids are neglected.
Yeah. So they are annoying, but rightfully so.
Yeah. If my dad kept lying to me and manipulating me and getting my hopes up, I would be pissed at him too. Exactly.
So, Peter's his attitude is rubbing off on Jack. Jack is becoming Peter Banning. Unfortunately, he's becoming sort of an asshole, which I liked a lot. I also really liked the baseball scene at work because it's I like how it jumps back and forth between Peter at work and Jack at the baseball game because they're both in their zone. That's the real them. Because Peter's a workaholic. He's at his game, and Jack is, being a kid at baseball. He's in his game, doing his thing. That's good insight. I like that. I love the little phone duel that Peter has with his buddy. Yeah. Oh, so goofy. But it also I love how in Neverland, Jack is so quick to forget his life back at home because he hates it. He hates that his dad, he thinks his dad doesn't love him. Whereas Maggie is so she knows her mother loves her and she refuses to forget. But Jack is gone immediately, until Peter shows up and rescues him. He becomes Little Hook really fast. I think I know why. Why? I have a thought. I think Neverland itself is sort of it's malevolent. I don't think it was ever supposed to be inhabited. I think it's actually a horrible place because I have a thought that Neverland makes you forget your past completely. And that's why everyone Jack forgot his past. He was like, hey, do I know that guy? And Captain was like, no, you've never seen him before at all. What are you talking about? So I think it makes you forget. I think it makes you forget your past because it happens to it happens to Jack. It happens to Peter when he becomes Peter Pan. He completely forgets why he was there for a second. Yeah, that's true. I don't think I ever caught on to that. That's really good. Yeah, Neverland is kind of manipulating their memories and
keeping them there.
Mhm.
I wonder if I love that. I wonder if that's ever been explored in one of these adaptations. Like the fact that like there's some dark force in Neverland that's like just feeding off this. That'd be cool.
I think it's like it's negative feelings, I think, is what makes you forget your past. I think Neverland feeds off of negative emotion because the only people that remember their like Thud, he talks about his mother. That's because he's always happy. But Peter Pan is depressed. He forgets why he's at Neverland. Jack is like mentally destroyed and he forgets everything.
Yeah.
And Hook is bent on revenge. So I think he has a positive emotion. I'm gonna get there in a second. When we talk about Hook on the boat, I'm gonna talk about my biggest thought about this movie.
Okay. So obviously Peter does not get there in time. Immediately picks up the phone, like, well, missed this one. On to the next thing, next deal.
Yeah.
And then they go to London, and there's some turbulence on the plane. The voice of the pilot on the intercom, by the way, is Dustin Hoffman.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Love that. We find out Peter has a fear of flying, which I'm sure manifested in his like determination to never go back to Neverland when he was a kid. Like he developed a fear of flying because of that, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I like he's like, why didn't I have a parachute? What the fuck did you why do you think you don't have a parachute, Dad? You suck.
I do love that little joke he does at the office when he's like, well, if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. He's like, well, what if it's the pilot's time to go?
Yeah.
Just so quick. But yeah. Peter goes to talk to Jack. Is like, why didn't I have a parachute? It's like, take a wild guess.
Yeah. God, man. That's one thing I like about this movie is the dialogue. None of it seems like I feel like sometimes like a lot of directors don't get how kids talk. But in this movie, I think they did it pretty well. That's why I'm gonna embarrass myself a little bit. When COVID first started, I actually wrote a 5-page analysis about this movie just because I was bored one day. And one of the things I wrote is I love how the insults that they use in this movie is it's so childish. So childish, man. And it fits so well with this movie. Yeah, so good.
I do love that. The insult battle between Peter and Rufio. It's one of my favorite parts.
Oh, God. I'll tell you what a paramecium is. That is a paramecium. It's a single cell organism that can't fly. Oh, my God. It's so good.
I always love when he calls him a substitute chemistry teacher.
Yeah.
It's such a weird insult.
No, he says the last insult, and he says to Rufio, he's like, "Hey, Rufio, why don't you?" He says, "Why don't you go suck on a dead dog's nose?" Like, oh fuck, dude, that's horrible. Jeez.
Well, I love that it's Peter slowly regressing to more and more childish insults, and then he's just throwing the fake food, and it triggers his imagination. It's great.
Anyway, back to before Neverland. Yeah,
on the plane, Jack is just throwing a baseball up into the mask area, which somebody should deal with.
Yeah.
I'd be annoyed if I was sitting next to the kid who's just smack.
Oh my God.
And then he triggers the masks, and Peter tells him, when are you going to stop acting like a child? And Jack's like, I am a child. And Peter tells him, grow up. It's like,
yeah. It's that I mean, obviously that's a huge thing in Peter Pan, but I think it's such a big thing in this movie is like growing up is important. I don't think so in Peter Pan, I don't think when they say like stay a child, because that's dark. Yeah. You can't, never growing up is dark as shit. I think it's don't be an asshole. Don't become crusty like Captain Hook, don't keep just be a good person. And Jack is becoming an asshole.
Yeah, well, you emulate your parents at that young age, and if you're constantly, neglected and just shown that your dad values, his big deal more than he values you, you're going to start to, that's going to get in your head. I've been there. Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
But what you got to do is just, you got to find you got to find what do you live for? And for Jack, it's baseball.
Yep, exactly.
So when they get to London, I love that Peter's constantly telling his kids to spit out that gum and stop climbing on that. And just whenever he talks to his kids, he's just telling them to stop doing something. Like that's all he says to his kids.
Exactly. I like the scene when they're on the doorstep and he's like, remember where you are. You're in England, the land of manners. And Toodles opens the door and he's like, it's snowing. Slams the door shut. And then Jack starts choking on his gum.
I love Toodles.
Yeah. Toodles is great.
No. I love when he's just crawling around when Peter's like, what are you doing? He's like, I've lost my marbles.
And then Peter's like, he's like, hey, how's it going, Liza? Isn't he supposed to be in a home?
What a great thing to say to your family you haven't spoken to in, I'm sure, like a decade.
Yeah, 10 years. It was 10 years.
Oh. He gets her name wrong. He calls her Lisa.
Yeah. Fucking, he's such an asshole, man.
He is. He really is. And then Granny Wendy shows up, and Maggie Smith, she was 56 at the time. They used makeup to make her look 90, and they were pretty spot on. She looks exactly like that now.
Yeah. Just to prove how well they did, I did not know that it was makeup until this exact moment when you just said that it was makeup. I thought Maggie Smith.
She's just been 90 for 30 years.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman has been 80 for his whole life. So I mean, come on.
Fair enough.
Oh my God.
That is funny. And even as 90-year-old Wendy, there's still this glint in her eye of I could have this kid anytime I want.
Oh my God.
It's creepy the way she's looking at him and talking about you were so young and handsome.
Oh.
And I was such a looker. It's creepy.
Yep. It's creepy.
I do love her look of surprise when Jack describes what he thinks his dad does for a living. And he's like, "You're a pirate now, aren't you, Peter?" And it's like the music sting. It's like, oh shit.
Yes, it's because he is a crusty asshole, just like Captain Hook is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the moment that really made me kind of hate Peter at the beginning of the movie is when he's tucking the kids in and Maggie gives him a flower and says I picked this for you. Doesn't it smell lovely? And he just goes, "It's paper."
Yeah.
How can you shatter your daughter's innocence like that? Just be like, stop imagining shit. Live in the real world. She's 6 years old.
The one scene that I thought Peter was completely justified in, not completely justified, but it was when he's on the phone call. Their mom is telling them to be quiet. Peter is telling them to be quiet, and they just keep screaming. He's like, "Shut up!" Dude. At that moment, I was like, "All right, guys, come on, leave."
But I also do love that in that moment, Moira's like, Peter, that's a mobile phone.
Yeah.
You can just get up and talk somewhere else.
I love when she throws it out the window, and Robin Williams' facial expression is so fucking good. He's like, "You just threw them." Okay. It's so good.
Can't believe that just happened. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, oh my God."
But she gives him great advice. How much longer do you think your kids are going to want to play with you? These moments are limited. You got to embrace them, and you're losing them.
Mm-hmm. She says, "You are not being careful, and you're missing it."
Mm.
That's a powerful words there, I think.
Yeah. I don't have kids, but I have friends who have kids, and I see them re-experience life and being a child through them. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, almost use your kids as an anchor to finding, to holding on to your own imagination.
Yeah. Which is what he does at the end of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. He figures that out. It only takes, battling a pirate to wake that up.
Oh my god.
And Moira seems to be perfectly capable of being a good parent, but Peter needed a fucking sledgehammer to wake him up.
Yeah. Yep. He definitely did.
So he goes to the like award gala, and I love like everyone in there is an orphan that Wendy has saved. That was very touching.
Yes. This is when we're talking about why I think it's gross, even more gross than I previously thought about Wendy. So on this watch through during this scene, I realized Wendy, well, Peter thinks that Wendy took him in because he was an orphan. And she helped raise him. That's why. Okay, so when they go visit Wendy's house, Moira says something like, "You promised Wendy you'd be here, every year. It's been 10 years." It's because she's his parental figure. And she wants his dick, dude. It's gross because he's also married to her granddaughter.
Who Wendy set them up, by the way, which is extra creepy. Like almost like if I can't have that dick, I'm gonna get secondhand stories.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
It's fucked up. Like the movie goes out of its way to like try to convince you to not think about it that much.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, man. But yeah, he said she brought me in from the cold. She taught me how to read. I was like, whoa. I had to pause it. I was like, holy shit, wait. So she raised you? Fuck, man, that's grody.
I mean, when Peter shows up, like, and stays in the flashback, I mean, he looks to be about 12.
Yep.
You still couldn't read.
Well, to be fair, he ran away as a baby and lived in Neverland forever.
Yeah, didn't Wendy teach him how to read like the first time she went to Neverland? Well, maybe not. She just told him stories.
I think she just told stories, but I guess you're right. He didn't read once.
I mean, he seemed to know what a kiss was.
He did.
And got a little date rapey with teenage Moira.
He definitely did. Yeah.
There's such a dark underbelly to this movie that you only notice if you've been watching it your whole life.
Yep. Oh, and Peter Pan, he definitely fucked the mermaids because they remembered, dude. Because they remembered him.
I think the big question is, and I feel like this isn't asked enough, but I'm gonna go ahead and take one for the team. How did he fuck the mermaids?
Haven't you seen The Lighthouse?
Oh,
they got the fishy, you know what I mean?
Oh God. Ugh. I mean, that looks like sticking your dick in a razor blade nest. Like, I don't know if that can't be pleasurable for anybody.
Oh God, man. Oh my God.
Jesus. Well, anyway.
Oh yeah, anyway. Yeah.
During all this, Hook decides to make his move and somehow comes to the real world, which again answers, I think Tinkerbell had something to do with that. How else did he get the pixie dust?
I think I know how also. So I read somewhere online, I don't remember where, but I read it a long time ago that apparently Captain Hook, since Peter Pan is like he's not an angel, but he's like, the dude that deals with like happy memories and good thoughts. Mm-hmm. Captain Hook is the exact opposite. He deals with like fear. So apparently, I don't know if this person's source is, like legit, but I guess Captain Hook can like infiltrate your nightmares like Freddy Krueger style, and that's how he enters the real world. But as soon as somebody like is no longer scared of Captain Hook, he goes back to Neverland. And in that scene, when the dog is barking, that's when Captain Hook is in their room kidnapping them. And then as soon as Toodles wakes up, he's like, Hook. That's when Captain Hook is like, oh shit, and he's back in Neverland. So that's what I read. I don't know, but yeah,
that's a neat theory. Freaky, very freaky.
Very.
I feel like he could have used that power a couple more times, maybe kill Pan in his sleep or something.
Oh, yes, if he wanted to kill Pan, but I don't think that was his goal. But I'm gonna get there later.
That's right. I think we talked about that at game night. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, that scene where Hook kidnaps the kids is creepy as shit. It really makes his presence known as like someone to be feared.
Yeah, for sure. And I like how they I made the connection. I don't know if it was like on purpose, but I like how in almost every Disney movie, evil magic is always green. And I know this wasn't a Disney movie, but when Captain Hook is like stealing the kids, the light in the area is bright green. And I thought that was, I think it might have been a nod to Disney. I'm not sure though.
I wonder how, I guess no one owns the rights to Peter Pan. It's public domain, but I bet Disney tried. Like whenever they do a public domain fairy tale movie, I always imagine like they gotta be trying to buy the rights to this.
Man, they tried to fucking trademark the Day of the Dead because they wanted to sell merch.
Fuck, really?
Yes, yeah.
Oh
they got in so much fucking trouble because when they came out with Coco, they wanted to sell merch for Day of the Dead. So they tried to trademark the holiday.
That's ballsy.
Yeah.
Surprised they just didn't go ahead and do it because like I don't think they've ever given a fuck what people thought.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh my god.
That sounds like they got shut down in court and had to save face.
I think that's what happened.
Hilarious. I love the message on the pirate parchment with the sword in the wall. Like your presence is requested at the behest of your children. Like that is that's awesome.
Intimidating. Yeah, that's intimidating.
That's very intimidating.
Also, thanks for the sweet fucking dagger, bro.
Well, I love it. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wonder if they still have it. You know, like they keep it as like a souvenir. I would. You kidding me?
I would have loved if Peter brought it with him to Neverland, and that was like his sword.
Oh, man,
like
that would be cool.
But I guess not. I love that Hook also left like an intimidating trail of like just claw marks in the wall to let them know like shit is not well at the Wendy household.
Yep. I think for the reason I'm going to get into later, I think it was all just a ploy to taunt Peter. Like come and get me, bitch. You know. Also, like, again, thinking probably too deep into it, but like scarring up the house, like Peter Pan scarred Captain Hook. Like, you know, Captain Hook is scarred forever with the hook. Captain Hook is going to scar, you know.
If this wasn't a kid's movie, he should have cut off Toodle's hand.
Oh, shit.
Like, left that pinned to the note on the wall.
Dude. Oh, my God. That would have been so... that would have sent a message. There you go.
Yeah. This is war.
Nope.
Damn. I have my own theory that the reason Hook can come to the real world is he's either in league with Tinkerbell, who wants Peter back, or he's kidnapped every other fairy and has been using their pixie dust. Because you don't see any other fairies in this movie.
Oh, fuck. That is true. Yeah. And I guess I don't watch it. Again, this is from online sources, but apparently in the Tinkerbell TV show and movies, apparently the pirates, they do that. They abuse fairies to get pixie dust. So I guess Captain Hook could have gotten by using pixie dust, but yeah.
I forgot there was a Tinkerbell franchise.
Bro, there's a Peter Pan multiverse, okay? There's a PPEU, Peter Pan Extended Universe.
That's funny. I guess there is, yeah.
Which I'll say this now. I think Peter Pan is a trilogy, and I think Hook is the last movie in the trilogy. Yeah,
what are the other two movies?
So I think the first, not a movie. It's a 3-part story. The first one is the original play, which is called The Little White Bird, I think is what it's called. It was the original story that J.M. Barrie wrote, and it was about a boy named Peter Pan who he didn't want to grow up, so he flew out of his baby carriage to Kensington Gardens, and the fairies taught him how to fly. So I think that's where it started. And then Peter Pan is the second part of that story, which is when, he defeats Captain Hook for the first time, and then Hook is the finale. And I'll get into why I think it's the finale and in a trilogy in a second.
I love how long you've been thinking about this.
Dude, I fucking love this movie so much.
This is, I can honestly, I don't think I've ever put this amount of thought into any film I've ever watched, and I love this.
I'm a psychopath, and it's what
it's awesome. I love that Inspector Phil Collins comes to help them figure shit out, and just randomly Phil Collins is in this movie.
Oh,
I love that he's like, it's probably a prank, and they're like, our kids are gone.
Yes, yeah. This movie underneath everything is so fucking dark, man. Nobody cares that the kids are gone. I guess, the parents do, but no, like the cops are like, he even says, he's like, well, with the, he says the literary history with this family, which again is another thing that I caught on this watch. Peter Pan exists as a story in this movie. Wendy told the story to John and Michael in the nursery and told the neighbor, who was J.M. Barrie. In the movie, their neighbor was J.M. Barrie, who made Peter Pan. Fucking meta, dude. It's insane. And I'm not talking about Facebook. I'm talking about, like meta, actual meta.
That is cool. I like that. But also, I don't know if I've seen Finding Neverland, which was a biopic about J.M. Barrie writing Peter Pan. I don't know how accurate that was, but I hope this family got a good chunk of those Peter Pan profits.
I hope so.
Because that would be really fucked up.
Well, they are rich, so I would assume.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I would love if Captain Hook showed up to J.M. Barrie and was like, I read your story.
Oh, shit.
Where's my piece?
Oh, man.
That's funny. But yeah, everyone's just, Phil Collins is like, we'll call you. And I guess they take the note to like for analysis, but they're like, this is probably some giant like escape room bullshit. Like this isn't real.
Probably.
And that's when, that's when Wendy decides like, all right, I got to spill the beans. I gotta tell the true story here. And she tells Peter, like, you were so handsome when I met you. I loved you so much. And he's like, Granny, you're freaking me out.
They almost kiss, dude. Well, she almost kisses him. They get close. She even sends his wife away. She's like, go make some tea. And she's like, come here. Sit next to me on the bed. And then she gets all close.
Oh, I love that he has to shut her down. He's to be like, hey, grandma, you're making me very uncomfortable here.
Yeah. Oh my God, man.
And then she spills like, you have to go back to Neverland. Like, don't you know who you are? And I love the music playing, like, the chanting calmly happening in the background there as she shows the page. And Peter's standing just like that.
Yes. He stands like that throughout the movie so often. And it's so cool. It's so cool that like, I think it was it Stanley? Might have been Stanley. Some comic book artist. He said that one of the most important things about a hero is their silhouette. And you can, their silhouette has to be very like, punctual. You have to know who the character is just by looking at their silhouette. And Peter Pan has a phenomenal silhouette because he always stands like that.
That's true. I remember reading in somewhere that, it was Spielberg in '92 talked about how Peter Pan is the original superhero. He said, Peter Pan was the first time I saw anybody fly. Before I saw Superman, before I saw Batman, and of course, before I saw any superheroes, my first memory of anybody flying is in Peter Pan. And that's a very cool, like I never thought of Peter Pan as influencing superheroes. That's so cool.
I just thought of like the superhero standing pose.
Is Peter Pan.
That came from Peter Pan. Yeah.
That's Superman does that exact stance.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Damn. This is the best movie ever. Critics, rewatch the movie, okay? Listen to the podcast, then watch the movie, then redo your show, or I'm going to tell Will Smith you don't like his wife.
I'm going to send Dustin Hoffman to kidnap your children.
Oh my God.
So now Peter's like, he's like, Moira, like he gets freaked out, like grandma's lives in it.
Dude.
And then he goes, I guess they go to bed and he goes to the nursery and Tinkerbell shows up and he freaks him out.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
I love when he's trying to swat her with a newspaper and he's like, the firefly from hell.
Yeah.
Like, big old bug.
I love the part when he's like, I don't believe in fairies. And then she says, every time you say that, a fairy somewhere drops down dead. So then he says it again. She pretends to die. And he's like, oh shit. He's like, fuck, I don't know what to do.
I love that she tells him that like every time somebody says that a fairy dies and he screams it at her.
Yeah.
Like, leave, get out of my face.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that whole scene is really funny because she's like, I found you, like we're gonna have adventure, and he's like, what is going on?
He's like, I am losing my shit.
You're a hallucination. Like, I don't know why. I never took drugs. I missed the 60s. I was an accountant.
In the words of Scrooge, it was just a bit of undigested beef or something. I don't know, Yeah.
I love when she starts like pulling him towards the window and he thinks he's dying. He's like, there's my house way down there.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. She wraps him up in a blankie and takes him to Neverland. And I love how strong she is. Like, holy shit.
Which, coincidentally, is the same way Peter Pan got to Neverland the first time. Wrapped up in a blanket, carried by Tinkerbell.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's another older lady who knew him as a baby who wants to bang him.
Yeah. Oh boy. Do people want to bang Peter? Which is weird because they all knew him when he was 14. But you know what? It's whatever.
He's a hero. I guess.
I don't want to like taint the story of Peter Pan because I love it. But you know what? I don't want to say J.M. Barrie has some fishy things about him. But I also don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, to be fair, everyone was kids in the original Peter Pan. Wendy was a kid. Peter was a kid.
Oh yeah.
This love thing only came from Hook.
Oh yeah.
So you blame James Hart. He's the creep.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Good. All right. Will do.
And then for me, this is really where the movie starts. I mean, I love the beginning, but once when I was a kid, I would skip to Neverland.
That's how I do Harry Potter. I skip the first movie. I'll watch it every now and then, but I skip it.
I've seen Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets so many times. It's white noise to me now. I do something similar.
No.
I love that Peter wakes up and is like, Moira. He's constantly screaming for his wife.
No, yeah.
And I love the crocodile clock that's just spinning eternally. It's a broken clock.
I'm gonna talk about that later.
And the fact that this crocodile, I never really understood the crocodile.
Yeah, is that a real crocodile? Because it burps at the end of the movie.
I guess it's just waiting for Hook to walk underneath him.
I guess so.
I don't think Hook visits that croc quite often. I mean, if he's afraid of ticking clocks, he's not going anywhere near that thing.
No, which, again, I have a question. That is in the center of Pirate Town. The leader of Pirate Town is Captain Hook. Why the fuck would you put a giant statue of the thing he fears most in the middle of the town?
I think it was pride. It's like, not like I killed that crocodile. I stuffed him. I won.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
That's his trophy because he can't kill Pan, but he can be damn sure he's going to kill that crocodile.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love Peter thinks he's in like fucking medieval times. He's like looking for a payphone. He's like, that is so real.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And Tink's like, get back here. Like, I got to teach you how to hide. And he's just walking around in fancy shoes. I love that pirate who comes up to him and is like, I want those shoes.
He's like, you can get them at Armani.
Well, if it ain't the mother inferior. I always love that line.
I love that he doesn't understand that it's real until like the kids grow up his face.
Yeah, until he sees his kids, he's like, "Oh shit, this is real." But even then, he's like trying to buy off Hook with like a check.
Yeah.
So Tinkerbell fucks up these pirates. One of them is Jimmy Buffett, by the way, which I just love.
Is it really?
Yeah, well, I don't know which one. I like to think it's the main one, but I can't confirm that. But yeah, Jimmy Buffett. While he's not wasting away in Margaritaville, he's hanging out in Neverland.
Just find the one with the Margaritaville shirt.
You ever see Jurassic World?
Yeah.
You remember the margarita guy who's like saving the margaritas as pterodactyls are attacking? That is also Jimmy Buffett.
That's great, man.
If something takes place on an island or has to do with water, someone's going to call Jimmy Buffett.
There you go.
I think he gets a cut of that. Any island shit, he gets a piece.
Anytime you make a margarita, Jimmy Buffett gets a little dime.
That sounds like a joke, but honestly, I'd believe it if somebody told me that.
Yeah.
There was I used to live in Maryland, and there was a restaurant in Frederick, Maryland called Cheeseburger in Paradise, which is a song Jimmy Buffett did. He found out, he closed that shit down.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, he sued them for trademark infringement, got that place shut down. And it was just like a little mom and pop cheeseburger place.
Oh man, come on. You're a billionaire. Come now.
Yeah, you got Margaritaville. Is this really hurting your brand?
That's awful.
Yeah. So Peter puts on a pirate disguise. I love when he args at that guy, and the guy's like, "How are you?"
He's like, "I'm good. You?"
Not bad. It's such a random interaction. And that's when we see the Hook. And Smee's polishing Captain's hook, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And starts parading it up to the captain, and the pirates are back, behind him going, Hook. It's a hell of an introduction.
Yeah, so good.
I love when you go ahead.
When he comes out, and everyone's like cheering and everything. And Captain Hook just straight up says, he's like, I fucking hate these people. But
the puling spawn, how I despise them.
Yes. Which furthers the point I'm about to get into, man.
He's done. He's tired of this shit. I do the scene where he puts on the hook and it's like that cool little flash of colored lights. They had one take to do that because those were super like old, rare light bulb mixture things that like they had one chance to use it. So they had to get that right.
With you talking about like when the lights flicker?
Yeah, like when the screen goes black and like you see him put on the hook and it like crackles.
Oh God, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love Smee's Good Morning Neverland, which is a clear reference to Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So good.
I love his introduction. I get the feeling he has to do this every day. Like, this is not just he got Pan's kids. This is how Captain Hook starts his day.
I would kill myself if I had to do this every day.
I love that Smee has to literally roll out the red carpet for this guy, or he won't go down the stairs.
Where's the carpet, Smee?
It's insane. It's like having pirate prince as your boss.
Oh my God. Oh, dude. Yes. Holy shit.
So yeah, Hook comes out and it's like, this is great. And he's like, I am proud to announce we have his children. And everyone's like, woo. I do love when he's like, one of you doubted me. I love that. Like, who would dare take a bet against Captain Hook in this world? Like, he's gonna hear about it.
He owns Neverland. What are you doing?
Yeah. And I love that the pirate he singles out is Glenn Close.
Yeah, I had no idea until you told me, and that blew my mind. And now every time I see that pirate, I'm like, oh, I can see it.
Yeah. She and Spielberg are friends. She was like visiting set, and he's like, you want to be a pirate? She's like, hell yeah, I want to be a pirate. They painted her up and they put her in the boo box.
Oh my God, the boo box. Oh my God. Isn't there something similar to the boo box in The Mummy? Don't they like put someone in a box and just dump bugs in there? Right?
That's the home die. Another of my all-time favorite movies that I know by heart. And Imhotep at the beginning, because he, fucks the pharaoh's wife. They're like, "Oh, you got to go," and they put him in a sarcophagus. They cut out his tongue. They wrap him up, and then they pour scarab beetles over him and lock him away. It's a brutal death, and apparently, it took a few hundred years for him to die.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine like with everything that happened immediately after the boo box, I don't think they remembered to take that pirate out of the boo box.
No, he's still in there.
Yeah, they forgot straight up. Stuff got way more interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Would love a post-credit scene of just that person still in the boo box.
Because they probably thought like, all right, Peter's gonna get her, get my kids, blah, die. All right, get him out of the box.
Better yet, like, what if like one of the Lost Boys like kicked it open and she's just like, "I'm free," and like runs away.
That's how she becomes Cruella. Pirate comes out, crazy hair. He's like,
her character's name is Gutless, by the way.
Oh my god.
So when Peter sees his kids, he immediately takes off his pirate disguise and is like, "My kids," and everyone's just like kind of watching him like, "What?
Who the fuck are you?"
I love that Hook thought Peter Pan as a child had like 6-year-old kids.
Yeah.
That's what he thought. Which is pretty fucked up, but I don't think Hook has the best grip on reality.
No, he doesn't. Definitely not.
Everyone's just like, "What? You're Peter?" I love that Smee's like, "It's Peter." Like he turns to him, he's like, "You trying to do me out of a job? What's the matter with you?"
Yeah, dude, oh my god, yes. He's like, "Shut the fuck up."
I love he's like trying to pull out his driver's license, and Smee's just like, "Oh, give me that," and throws it away.
Another detail I caught while watching this, which by the way, how the fuck did he get his dental records?
This was not a spur of the moment thing. They've been planning this for a long time to get his medical records. That's impressive.
The paper that Smee has to like prove his identity, was it like a amendment or something? The initials, he says blah 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 blah, signed TM. Oh, TB. Tinkerbell, bro.
Oh my god.
Tinkerbell is in on it, man. I think,
she probably got them the documents. Like she went and she knew where to go.
Yes.
She was in on this shit. I've never thought about this, but I'm having like a Kaiser Soze, holy shit, like Usual Suspects moment about Tinkerbell tonight.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she was in on it the whole time, man. But not for nefarious purposes.
No. Unrequited love will make people do crazy things.
Oh yeah.
Especially if apparently it's like Peter Pan, because he's dude lays some pipe apparently. Like stories get around.
I guess so. It's because he can fly. He can do like weird angles and shit during sex.
Oh my god. What was she? She's 6 inches tall. What was she expecting?
Bro, I'm sure they've done. I mean, come on.
The logistics of that are frightening. Like he will kill her. With a finger, he will kill her.
Oh my god, dude. That's so grody.
If the questions are going to be brought up, they're going to be answered.
You ever think they like experiment with some stuff? I mean, come on, like they had to, right? A little bit.
I mean, she's got no other fairies to play with. We see that, so she's got to be doing something.
I know.
Oh my god! And suddenly, apparently, she can like make herself human sized, like one time, I guess.
Yeah, so she can. I think it's that she can grant everyone a wish, but everyone only gets one wish, including herself, and she wasted it.
Her wish was, "I'm going to be big for 35 seconds so I can kiss Peter this one time." Not like maybe, help him save his kids or help him fight Hook or something. Just only this moment. That's selfish.
Well, to be fair, Tinkerbell has always been selfish. I think she was selfish in the old in the Disney cartoon too.
That's right. Yeah, she tried to kill Wendy a couple times, didn't she?
Yeah, she definitely did. In fact, holy shit, dude! I just realized she helped Captain Hook in the cartoon too. She told Captain Hook where Peter his hideout was.
That's right. And then at the last minute, she's like, "I can't do this," and like got rid of the bomb. I remember that.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the Disney Peter Pan in a very long time because of the Native American stuff that I just don't want to see. I love that movie as a kid though, so it hurts.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to, because Tinkerbell's a nefarious bitch.
Yeah, she is. No, I think she's a horny bitch.
There's horny, and then there's helping Hook send a bomb
okay.
to kill Peter Pan. Letting Wendy get ripped apart by mermaids.
Holy shit.
So Peter is like, I love when he tells Hook, like, you better let those kids go or you're gonna need a lawyer, and you better hope to God he's better than me.
Yeah.
And then I love when he's always like, come on, Peter, pick up your weapon. He picks up the checkbook.
Yeah.
How much?
And
he shoots that guy.
Yeah. Which another thing is, like, Captain Hook is just an evil son of a bitch. He has no remorse. He has no remorse for human life whatsoever. He just
he's surrounded by like literally just people he despises. There's the Lost Boys, there's the Indians, there's his pirate brethren, which he clearly doesn't care for.
Yeah.
Exactly. Smee is it. Like, Smee's the only person he cares about. And even then, it's not a lot.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So Peter, Hook's kind of like, well, my greatest enemy is a bloated lawyer. Well, I guess it's over. He tells Peter, like, fly up there and touch your kid's hands and I'll let you go, which is, he wasn't going to let him
go.
No. I like when Peter tells Hook, like, can somebody give me a hand? And he's like, I already have. And everyone, everyone oohs him.
Yeah. Sick burn, bro. Damn.
And he's not that, he could just jump on that thing and touch them. Like, he's not that far. Like, I could have done that.
Yes. I was going to talk about it later, but I'll talk about it now because of what you just said. The scene later when Captain Hook and Jack are in the clock, then they're smashing clocks and stuff. Mm-hmm. Captain Hook, he goes a little easy on it on Jack. He's like, hey, it's okay. Your father couldn't touch your hand. And Jack is like, no. It's not that he couldn't. He wouldn't. Like, he didn't even try, dude. Man. Cuts deep.
Hook does some A+ manipulation on Jack. Like, really, like the whole, making a baseball game, telling, like, this is for all the games your daddy missed. Like, he's working that mark. So Hook's just like, we're canceling the war. Kill them all.
Kill them all. Yes.
Yeah. Tink's like, I got, like, Tink's like, hold on, give me a couple days.
Yeah,
we can do this.
It's because I think Captain Hook, he says it, so it's not like a thing, but he doesn't want to kill Peter Pan. He had so many chances. He goes back into the real world to take his kids. He could have just gone back and killed Peter in his sleep. It's not like just straight up revenge he wants. He wants to be, like, remembered, which is the first part of, like, my huge, not theory, I guess, but thought process about this movie. And the reason it's titled Hook, it's not called Peter Pan, it's called Hook because Hook is the main character of the movie. It's not Peter Pan at all. So I think, he wants revenge, but he's in for, like, the long game of revenge. He's like, he doesn't want the easy way out. He wants Peter Pan to suffer just like Hook has suffered. He takes Peter's kids just like Peter took Captain Hook's hand, and he's living through Peter Pan's kids because Captain Hook obviously didn't have a good childhood. So now he's living through the kids of Peter Pan,
He's all about legacy. I mean, he screams at Tinkerbell like, "I want my war." It's not that he wants revenge. He wants his revenge his way, the way he's always imagined it. Going out in a blaze of glory, Hook versus Pan.
He wants to torture. He wants to torture Peter.
Yeah.
And then also, oh man, okay. Captain Hook is obviously scared of the clock, but I don't think it's the clock he's scared of. I think it's the fact that like Captain Hook has been alive for so long, and all he's heard his entire fucking life is about Peter Pan, and he's sick of the endless clock that never ends in the crocodile's mouth, because everything in the crocodile is built on like Peter Pan's thing. I cut your hand off and fed it to a crocodile. Now the crocodile is part of your image, so is the clock. Like, it's always going to be you. So I think that Hook wanted Peter to also be scared of. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to put this into words. Captain Hook is scared of clocks because he has so much time. He's never going to die. He's stuck in Neverland. But he wants Peter Pan to be scared of time also, because for him, time is running out. So, does that make sense? Make sense? Yeah.
Hook's afraid that he'll never run out of time, that time is, he's trapped. And the crocodile, because it's a giant ass crocodile. But yeah, this whole thing is about fear. And I like, even at the end when he's fighting Peter and he has him like pinned, he tells him like, you're not Peter Pan, you're Peter Banning, you're a lawyer who drinks too much and neglects his children. This isn't real. Like he just is constantly getting in his head. It's psychological warfare. It's great. Yeah, there's so many layers to this thing. It's great.
It's terrifying.
I feel like Shrek peeling an onion right now.
God, fucking. When you asked me what movie I wanted to do, I almost said Shrek.
You already did Shrek on Oscar Sunday.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all good.
That was fun though. I love when Smee is like offers to kill Tink and points a gun right in Hook's face. Looks like, Smee, let's just like, and flips the gun. Like, no.
Yeah. He's like, cool, you bricks, Smee. Hold on, man.
They decide, 3 days. She's going to somehow turn him into Peter Pan in 3 days. And that one pirate knocks Pan off the fucking plane.
Yeah.
Whoops. Those hot mermaids French him some air, and he gets put in a big shell, ends up at the Lost Boys place, and they're all like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
And they're just like, he says they think he's Peter Pan, but he looks old and fat. And they're like, that's probably not him. Then Rufio shows up. Well, actually, yeah, Rufio shows up. Then they chase him through their compound. I love that. He's like, kill the lawyer. I'm not that kind of lawyer.
I'm not that kind of lawyer.
That's cute.
Going back to set design, the Lost Boys like hideout again just seems like a bunch of kids.
I love the costume design of each kid. Like you can kind of tell where they came from, like their time period. There's like, a 20s kid, a 50s kid, an 80s kid. Like you can tell just by what they're wearing.
Rufio, I think, was a pirate.
I wonder if he's like, what if he's Hook's kid?
Oh, damn. That is true, because they kind of have like a little rivalry.
Like, they've met. Like Rufio has a hate boner for Captain Hook.
Yeah.
Hook is like, almost gets to be proud that he kills Rufio. Like they have history.
Oh yeah.
And Rufio is much older than the rest of these kids. What if he is like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's not bound by the traditional Neverland laws of nature because he was born there. Oh my God.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Ah, boy. I wonder what if the reason he hates Hook is Hook killed his mom. What if his mom is Tiger Lily?
Wow!
Dude. Because we never hear about the Indians. We know Hook has been killing them, but we never meet any of them. We don't see them. Oh, dude.
Oh, fuck. Wait, dude. That's crazy.
Shit. I'm all right. That's new canon for me. That's how I'm watching
That's
this movie
canon.
from now
Yeah,
on.
that's canon from now on. Yeah, man. That's canon. Oh my god.
Yeah. All grown-ups are pirates. That's his declaration. And that backs that up. So I do love the scene where Pan, or Peter gets, encounters Rufio with all the kids, and Rufio draws a line in the sand. But first he comes up to Peter with the sword and gets him right on the face. And then they did that scene backwards. And Rufio had to say the line, "You're dead, jolly man." He had to say that backwards. And then they played it out, and it actually he did it really well.
When we're done recording, I'm gonna watch that scene so I can hear it and see if I can tell. I don't think I will be able to, but
it's cool. There's a lot of little things in this movie. He tells everybody if you don't believe this is Peter Pan, cross the line. And Peter's the first one to walk over there.
Yeah. And Tinkerbell is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "You're
embarrassing me."
Yeah, you're embarrassing me.
And there's that little kid who stretches Peter's face out and is like, "Oh, there he is." And everyone rushes and it's like, "Oh my God, Pan's back."
I think that kid's also the youngest one, which I think is why he was able to, point out that he was still Peter Pan.
Yeah. That's nice. I like how everyone just kind of slowly starts to realize he's back, but he grew up.
Yeah.
And they have to whip him into shape. But first, Hook contemplates suicide in one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yes.
Hook's just he's like, "I just had an epiphany." Smee's like, "Epiphany what?"
Epiphany what? Yeah. All right. So this is my big theory for the movie right here. I'm going to talk about it right here. I think in that moment, he's talking about, he's pissed off. He's like, "Fuck." He's like, "This piece of shit is not Peter Pan. I wanted to kill Peter Pan." I think right then and there, I think he legitimately did have an epiphany. I think the suicide thing was, for comedy in the movie. But I think he legitimately right there was like, "Holy shit. The only way I'm going to get out of Peter Pan's shadow is if I let him kill me." I think the entire movie, Hook wants Peter Pan to kill Hook, but I don't think he's not going to be like, "Oh, kill me." But he's going to put up a fight, and a big fight, and he's going to go out in the best way possible. And I don't think Captain Hook is dead. I think Captain Hook leaves Neverland.
Okay. I like that. It is a weird death, and he jumps into that gator's mouth or crocodile.
Yeah, and he's not there anymore. He's gone. They even say, "Where'd he go?" He's gone. He's not in Neverland anymore.
Yeah.
So he was like, "That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fake my death. I'm going to get the fuck out of here." It's the only way to get out of. Oh. Yeah, so I think Captain Hook is the only way I'm going to get out of Peter Pan's shadow is if I have a big war, and just get the fuck out of here because this isn't worth it. I fucking hate it here. I'm out of here. But he's Captain Hook. He can't just leave Neverland. So I'm gonna let Peter Pan kill me. Get the fuck out of here.
I think it starts out like that, but something Smee tells Hook, I think, rejuvenates him when Smee tells him, "What would the world be like without Captain Hook?"
Oh yeah.
And Hook has this moment of "You know what? You're right." And then he says it again at the end, "After all, what would the world be like without Captain Hook?" I think he's he was gonna give up, and he's like, "I can do this." He's at the end, he's like, "I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch."
Yeah. And then the crocodile starts falling down. And he's like, "Well, fuck it, whatever."
He does just kind of look at it "Oh, okay."
Yeah, he doesn't. He's like, "Ah, all right."
It's just this might as well happen.
And I think that's why Smee is in the real world at the end. I hate when people watch the movie and they're like, "Oh, it was all a dream because Smee is in the real world." No, that is Smee. That's Smee in the real world, Yeah.
You had to think, what about Smee?
What about me?
He kidnapped the pixie, flew away with Hook's gold, and set up in London. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
But I do love this scene where Smee's just giving him half-eaten food, and asking him like, "Are you getting dramatic?" Clearly, this happens a lot.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, not again.
He's like, don't try to stop me this time, Smee. Don't try to stop me this time, Smee. Smee, why aren't you stopping me? Stop me, Smee. He's like,
get up
Smee,
off your ass.
I'm committing suicide.
This is not a joke.
And then he's like, don't ever scare me like that again.
It's crazy. I do love when Hook's. I had a meme on my phone of Hook going, "My life is over." That would send to people when I was like done with something.
Oh.
I mean, you've lost your appetite.
Holy shit, man.
Great. And that's when Smee gives Hook the idea to corrupt his children and create a legacy. Because clearly Hook and Smee can't have kids because they are 100% together.
Yeah, you think so? You think they're gay? Yeah.
Well, I read that's how Dustin Hoffman played it. Like him and Bob Hoskins talked about it and thought like they're clearly a couple of, in their words, old queens. And they approached it to Spielberg and it was like, this is how we're going to play it. And I don't like Spielberg's response because it does sound very derogatory. He didn't use any words, but what he said bluntly was, "This is a kid's movie." And I'm like, Steve, that's not good.
Yeah. Icky.
Yeah. Like there's no gay pirates in my Peter Pan movie. God damn it. Just,
your main character wears tights.
Yeah, which I always wonder, like, where the fuck did that come from? He just flies out of the tree wearing tights.
He does a whole costume change, and his ears get pointy too. They become elf ears out of nowhere.
I always wonder, was that just like the way his hair was setting, or did he just have a pointed elf ear?
I don't know, because I don't think Robin Williams' ears are like that.
Well, we see his ears the whole movie. They're not.
Yeah. I think it might be his hair. I don't know, dude.
Well, Peter Pan's always, I mean, Disney cartoon Peter Pan does have pointed elf ears. Like he's supposed to be like a cherub angel being.
Oh yeah.
So I bet that if they did do it, it was probably a nod to that.
Yeah, probably.
So Lost Boys start making a workout regimen for Pan or Peter, and he just has to do all these exercises, which don't seem like they're doing anything. I love when they try to get him to fly, so they hurl him in a giant slingshot.
Into I gotta think of a happy thought. It's like, okay, I want to be out of the slingshot. There's my happy thought. I don't want to be in this chair anymore.
I love the kids holding up signs of happy thoughts. Like there's one kid that says like, gum, bugs. One kid has birthday, BERFDAY.
Oh my god, I fucking love this movie, man. Oh my god.
Yeah. I think after that we have the feast, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's so like well, no. First it's the When You're Alone song.
Oh yeah, first it's Hook's first lesson with the kids, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like why parents hate their children.
Oh my God. And
I love Maggie's like, you're a monster. And Jack's like, you're making some good points.
Yeah. He's like, hold on now. He's like, you're on to something. He's like, fuck, dude, she does read to us every night. You are right.
I love how upset Maggie was that she got an F.
Yeah.
Like, how could you gave me an F?
There wasn't any assignment. He just wrote an F on a piece of paper in front of her.
Smee flunked the maggot.
Oh my god. The way he draws the F always irritates me. He does like the two lines before the big line, and it's disgusting.
It's how a bad guy would draw an F just to upset you.
Oh my god.
I've thought about that too. Like it's a weird way to do that. Oh, that's great.
I was like, what are you doing? A frowny face? Oh, fuck you, Smee.
Thud gives some insight to Peter about happy thoughts. Says, my happy thoughts, my mother. Do you remember your mother? And instead, like, Peter's like, no, I wish I did.
Yeah.
It's sad. I love that it's implied that Peter's like 200-300 years old.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. And that weird, just to move ahead for a second here, baby Peter remembering being a baby and hearing his mom say like, he'll go to Oxford and he's going to be a lawyer. Like this kid is like 2 months old.
It's like, man, you didn't gain consciousness until you were maybe 4 at the earliest.
Well, the baby remembering, but also the mom like planning out this kid's future that quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I guess sort of Peter did to Jack, I guess a little bit. Maybe telling like he never like explicitly says like you're gonna go to this college, but he's like, you need to grow up, stop being, stop trying to break airplane windows.
I mean, that's a good lesson.
Yeah. He's like, you can't break them, they're double layered. You definitely can, man. Okay. What year did this movie come out in?
91.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's pre 9/11 air travel.
Yeah.
Those were breakable windows.
Yeah, for sure, man. I want to see. I don't want to see because it's horrible, but I want to see a little clip of the Banning family on 9/11. You can see Peter just turn and look at Jack. Like, see, this is what happens when you play with baseballs on an airplane.
All of his lessons go away from Neverland in like a year or two. He reverts so quickly, and he's right back to like, grow up, Jack. We don't do this on airplanes. Oh, that's crazy. I would have loved to see like Jack escorted off. Like, they have to land prematurely in like Iceland, and Jack is escorted off the plane.
That would have been funny if he did break the window and they crash land on an island. It's Neverland.
You can't break them. Everyone gets sucked out of the fucking. That's funny. So yeah, Thud gives Peter the marbles. It's like, here, Toodles left these. That's cute.
Yeah, I like how they laugh because he's like, oh, he legitimately lost his marbles. Okay. This wasn't a figure of speech.
That's cute. So then we have Maggie singing a song for the pirates. This is weird. I thought, is she a prisoner or not? Like,
I don't know.
I guess it's implied that like all these pirates want love. They want something. They want to have something, and all they've got is Hook berating them.
Yeah, and killing them, whenever he wants.
Yeah, shooting through checkbooks and killing people. Yeah, good point. But it's an odd song. Originally, John Williams, when he got brought on to do the score, this was going to be a musical. So he has like 8 or 9 songs he wrote for this movie that have never been released or like composed.
And was Are You Alone part of the?
I feel like there wasn't a lot of thought put into that one. It's pretty basic. It's like, here I am on my own. Doesn't it suck when you're alone? I'm paraphrasing, but
yeah.
Yeah, but Peter can hear Maggie and knows she's okay. Then there's a feast. And I love that, like, it's at first you think like these kids are wasting away eating nothing. But
they're not.
Yeah, Peter just can't comprehend.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I think that's a really cool not detail. It's a really cool detail that I like about this movie is you do think that they are just doing, they're playing pretend, but you have to remember that like Neverland is a magical place. Magic in this world exists, and that magic is solely from imagination and like childhood spirit. So they are legitimately eating food, but the only way to you have to adapt to this way of life of being a child, which
it's pay to play, but the payment is imagination.
Yep. And at the cost of your memories. And I don't like the dark side of childhood innocence we're going into here. I do love when Peter's just looking around like what's the gag? Like, what's the gag?
Where's the food?
They're
I also
like-
love when Rufio is like, everybody say grace, and everyone just screams grace and starts
Yeah.
going at the food.
Grace. Oh man. Like when they're like, "Are you gonna finish that?" And he's like, "No, please." He looked so fucking pissed. He's like, "No, please, here, fucking eat it."
I love that in this movie, we see him get his kids kidnapped. We see Hook basically mentally torture him, shoot a guy in front of him, refuse to give him his kids back. And this is the first time we see him visibly angry.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'd be fucking mad too. All these kids, make shooting. What were those that they were shooting at him? They're just like balls covered in paint. They're sticky. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've given up on trying to figure a lot of this out because I'm like, what's in the pie? Where's all this paint coming from?
Why is there a penguin?
Who built Rufio's like go-kart track?
There's a skate park in Neverland.
Oh yeah. I love when he's running through and is like, helmets.
Yeah. Fucking 90s, dude. Jesus. They can't make a movie like this anymore.
No. Oh, yeah, good stuff. So Rufio's like, eat up and starts throwing insults at Peter. And Peter's like, you're a very ill-mannered young man. You know that?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I love that. I love when Peter's just had enough of Rufio.
Yeah.
But also they're just, they're back and forth, prison barber and just nearsighted gynecologist.
Oh my god, dude. Oh man.
Kids movie.
Go suck on a dead dog's nose. Yeah, kids movie.
I will always love you lewd, crude, rude, bag of pre-chewed food, dude.
Yeah, it's so good.
That is pure Williams right there.
Yep. I wonder how many of those insults he came up with. I'm sure all of them he came up with on the spot.
There's no way nearsighted gynecologist was in this script.
No.
That is off the cuff, if anything is.
Oh my god. It must be so hard working with Robin Williams because you have to yell cut because everyone starts laughing so hard. Him, Jim Carrey, and Will Ferrell, I would imagine, are probably some of the hardest people to work with.
For that reason, definitely.
Yeah.
I know that Robin Williams' improvisation lost Aladdin a nomination for best adapted screenplay.
Are you serious?
It was almost like his entire character is improvised. So all of that dialogue was made up on the fly. So it wasn't in the script. So it didn't count towards the script. So the script lost out on a nomination, which is hilarious.
That is funny, but fuck, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there's like a ton more crazy shit he said as Genie. A lot of it was not PG. They couldn't use because he was just riffing. He wasn't thinking about it. And that stuff is like sealed in the vault, never to be released upon like his contract was like that stuff will never see the light of day. He didn't want Disney making money off of his image with Genie. He didn't want it to be commercialized.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Have you heard his like stand-up?
Oh,
He
yes.
is fucking nasty, dude. He's raunchy.
He's lightning quick, but goddamn does he go. Yeah, he's got no boundaries at all.
No.
I love the guy.
Yep. He's wonderful.
I love he did when he in 98 he was presenting Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars, and before as he was opening the envelope, he said, to quote Adam in the Garden of Eden, stand back. I don't know how big this gets.
Oh man.
We will never have a comedic genius like him again. He was the best.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I'm sure these insults, I'm sure he and like, I think Dante Basco is the name of the kid who played Rufio. I'm sure they workshopped some stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Hemorrhoidal suck navel is a personal favorite of mine. I like that. So Peter flings some imaginary pudding or something at I don't know. They're all just eating frosting. Have fucking diabetes and no teeth.
And thud cheese. Don't forget about the thud cheese.
The thud who's just eating his giant something. It's the cheese. It doesn't have a bite taken out of it.
Nope. So
what
he
was
ate
that?
something else. Yeah.
Maybe he has 2 blocks of cheese.
I wonder, do you think he sells the cheese for profit to the pirates? Do you think he has his own company?
Thud Bud Enterprises.
Yep. Oh God. Where'd you get the milk?
That's a good question. Never cows.
There are some prostitutes on the island. Yeah.
Oh dear God. They're all oh God.
I'm ruining this movie. I'm sorry.
They're eating hooker breast milk cheese.
Oh,
Is that really where we're going?
No.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's fucking. It is weird that there's just randomly 3 hookers in this movie.
Yeah.
They start having a food fight, which is fun. And Rufio decides to be a sore loser and hucks a coconut at Peter. And Peter slices it in half in midair. And it's like, oh, Pan's coming back.
Such a cool scene.
Oh, yeah. And Tinkerbell almost gets drowned in frosting bits. Which,
oh, she would have died. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so much frosting. And turkey legs, I guess. But other than mermaids, I don't think we see any of. Oh, and penguins. Maybe it's penguin.
Oh, it could be penguin. Yeah. That's true.
And the one little Arctic patch.
Yeah, it was tiny. It was just like a little triangle with one penguin. And Peter Pan demolishes it.
Yeah, he does. That penguin's going to die.
Well, they're eating him in the dinner scene, so you know.
That's true. Maybe it's pirate.
I wouldn't be surprised. They made a lot of Lord of the Flies, like, you know.
What is this? Lord of the Flies preschool.
Oh my God.
Good stuff. So after the Pan fight, or the Pan reveal where he's like, I can do this. I think then we have the baseball game.
Yes.
Yeah, which is hilarious that they put that together so quickly.
Yeah, he says, "Is there?" Because they do the clock smashing scene, which, by the way, every time he smashes a clock, he says like what that clock is for, because he's doing it to get back at his father. And I love how quickly he escalates. He goes, "This is for never letting me blow bubbles in my chocolate milk." Smashes the clock. "This is for never letting me jump on my bed." Smashes the clock. "This is for making promises and not fulfilling them." Smashes the clock. "This is for being a shitbag, awful father." Smashes the clock. It just escalates so quickly. Chocolate milk, horrible father. Like, dude.
Well, I mean, Jack had a lot of ammo. Like he did.
Yes, he did.
He had a lot of built up frustration.
Yeah.
I love that chocolate milk's the big one for him. It's like, that's such a specific thing to be pissed at your parents for. Like, just don't drink your chocolate milk in front of them. Go to your room.
You have a straw? That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird to use a straw at home.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I do love that scene. I forgot about that one when Hook's just like, I smell a clock, and it's like gonna gut Jack. Yeah. And he's like, whoa. He didn't know.
Yeah.
Jack's like, what the fuck's going on?
Oh yeah, he even starts to laugh the way he laughs, and
yeah, it's like, oh my God, these people are crazy.
Like, oh my God.
He has zero sense of danger from these crazy pirates who kidnapped him and threw him in another dimension.
Which I guess is accurate because, you know, Amber Alert is a thing. So
that's true.
You know,
I wonder what Inspector Phil Collins was doing this whole time, because he clearly wasn't finding those kids.
He was writing the soundtrack for Tarzan. That's what he was doing. He was writing a fucking banger. That's what he was doing.
He was analyzing the letter, and he's like, "Farewell, Peter, you'll be in my heart." And he's like, "Huh, that's pretty good." Call like, Genesis. I got to set up the drum kit. The clock smashing is great. I love that his Hook's little story about this pirate named Barbecue, which is a great pirate name. He's like, he was a great pirate till I gutted him like a fish.
Oh my god, dude.
Shit, man. And then took his clock. Like, these are trophies.
God.
Yeah. And that's kind of when Hook just tells Jack, when the time comes, do you want to be saved? It's like, oof, Stockholm syndrome works fast in Neverland.
It definitely does. I think it was more than 3 days personally. I think time works a little differently in Neverland. Captain Hook even says, he's like, has it been 3 days? He's like, oh fuck. I think it works differently for
it's not like Hook has a concept of time. He's worked very hard to get rid of that.
He had to get rid of clocks.
That's funny. So at the baseball game, the plan is Peter steals Hook's hook somehow without Hook noticing, and that's what's gonna send him over the edge to be Peter Pan. I love the Hook's like, give me my bum. I love that weird sensual exhale that one chick does when she takes off the hook.
Oh yeah, taking off your hook. God, chill out, man. I love Run Home Jack so much.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, the Hook's like, no, you idiots, it's backwards.
He's like, fix it quick.
I love that Peter is right next to Hook commenting on the game. If Hook just looks down to look at his champagne, it's over.
Yeah. And then when Captain Hook, he's like, my Jack. And Peter is like, he's like, fuck. He's like, no. My Jack. Yeah.
But it is nice that Peter got to see his kid play a baseball game.
Yeah, and he hit the curveball.
He did somehow. Magic powers. Do you see the speed on that ball though? The jet trail coming off that thing before Jack hit it?
Yeah.
He's got a fucking fastball.
Oh man.
Oh. It took a long time for that ball to come down because Peter had to not only go back to the Lost Boys hatch, he had to start climbing rocks, and then the ball fell. God. I love that it's a baseball to the head that jogs his memory, and he's like, "Oh, there it is."
Yeah.
The shadow comes back and is like, "Come on." Oh, that's funny.
Which if I saw my shadow, I would move it on its own accord. I would probably blow my brains out. I'd be so fucking scared.
I've seen so many horror movies. I would not immediately think of Peter Pan. I'd be like, that's the devil.
Yeah.
I'm in The Conjuring now.
Yep. Oh, that is a skinwalker. Goodbye.
Yeah. Babadook. And just try to turn all the lights on.
Why can't you just be normal?
I love that movie though. I have not done that on the show yet. I keep thinking about it. I haven't committed to that. That might happen this year.
Yeah.
So Peter starts looking around. He sees himself in the water as a young Pan, and finds the little weird tree hut he made with Wendy. And Tinkerbell's in there wearing a dress for some reason. Could have told Peter about this anytime. She was there for all of those adventures.
Oh God. Holy shit, man.
Yeah. Apparently she leaves out the time she tried to kill Wendy.
Yeah, she definitely does. Yep.
Convenient. And Peter's happy memory, his happy thought is being a dad. Oh.
Yeah, I really like that part. He's holding the teddy bear. What is it? He's like Taddy. He's like, oh fuck, daddy. Holy fuck, I have a son.
And a daughter. He forgets that.
Oh, I was watching it with Julie yesterday, and in the scene where he's talking, he's Peter Pan. He's finally Peter Pan. He's talking to Jack. He's like, "Hey, I had to find a happy memory, and it was you."
Yeah.
I wanted a shot of his daughter being like, all right, fuck me then. Thanks, Dad.
That's the moment that Maggie starts forgetting about him, and she becomes little Hook now. Now he's got to free her from this Manchurian candidate pirate shit.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's
now
a
you're
villain
focusing too much on
right
Jack.
there.
You're neglecting your daughter. God damn it, Peter. Find some balance.
Oh shit, man.
I do love when he realizes he's flying and he finally has it. He's like, oh, I lost it. He starts falling.
Yeah.
Like, I love how fragile that is. Like, if you just suddenly forget fleetingly your happy thought, you're going to plummet to the ground.
Yes, you literally have to think about it the entire time.
You ever tried to focus on one thing for that long? It's impossible. You'll give yourself an aneurysm.
Yeah, no. Man.
He flies out of the tree in Peter Pan's tights. Never explained.
Quick costume. I like to think he has like old school an Adam West Batman where they're sliding down the pole. He just like slips right into the costume. That's what Peter Pan has, but instead of going down, he goes up, so he flies like up into it.
Yeah. I'll buy that. I mean, I think it's crazy that he fit into his like 12-year-old costume.
Yeah. Captain Hook even asks, he's like, I'm surprised your costume still fits.
He starts flying through Neverland, like, and the boys are like, he's back. And I love that. He's like throwing basketballs at kids' faces.
He's like, play. I was like, sir, you are still an adult man. What are you doing? This is child abuse.
It is, Frank. Yeah, you can't chuck a basketball at a child's face like that.
Oh, oh my God.
And then Rufio shows up and gives him his sword. He's like, it's you. You're the Pan.
Nope.
I love that. He's like, I will follow you into hell.
Yeah. Which I like because in that 5-page analysis I wrote, because I'm a fucking nerd, I wrote in there that I think Rufio embodies the obstacle to become Pan. That's what he is. Yeah.
You should email me this. I want to read this.
I will. It's very all over the place. I'm very bad at collecting all my thoughts and putting them down. But yeah, I'll email it to you. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. I love hearing Robin Williams crow. It's like,
yes,
hell yeah.
So good.
I can't do it. Otherwise I would.
Have you do you know who Pogo is? The musical artist? Pogo?
I've heard the name. I can't place any songs.
So he's he does like techno type music. But what's interesting about his music is every sound that you'll hear in a song is from whatever movie that song is about. So he has a song called Bangarang, and it's sounds from Hook.
Oh my God.
And he plays the crow sound like before like the it's not like dubstep, but before like the beat drops. It's so good. Such a good song.
That's awesome. I want to hear that. I'm gonna look that up when we're done.
Okay, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
I was reading the trivia that bangarang is a actual like Jamaican slang word.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a real word. It means something. I don't want to get it wrong. I'm looking it up here. Bangarang. Yeah, Jamaican slang for uproar, disorder, or disturbance. So it's literally a battle cry for like making a ruckus.
Hell yeah, dude. That's so fucking cool.
Of course, that's awesome. I love seeing the Lost Boys get ready for battle, like start prepping their like running into their costumes and like hoping they stick and stuff like that.
So good. And Thud is just like, I'm ready.
Yeah, he just shows up, make sure the ball on top of his head is adjusted well, limbers up a little so he can hurl himself into a ball.
Yeah.
Thud.
Probably has to get a snack before he goes.
I would love if he's like going into battle, like a sword in one hand, giant block of cheese in the other. Gotta have my snack.
You should have been wearing a full set of armor, but made out of cheese.
Oh, that's great. Oh, so now Jack is wearing like a Hook costume, which I love the wig and the red ornate. I love that Hook's hat looks like crocodile teeth.
Oh fuck! I never thought about that.
Yeah, the gold inlay is shaped like crocodile teeth. Like it's always with him. It's always about to eat him.
That's cool. I never thought about that. Hey, also just to like further push your theory about Rufio being Captain Hook's son, their colors are inverted. Like Captain Hook is red and black, Rufio is black and red.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They are so related.
It's canon. It's canon.
100%. I read the original cut of this thing was 3 hours, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was a subplot they had to cut.
I do love this movie, but every time I watch it, I think it gets to the part where his memory starts coming back, and I'm like, wow, this is a long movie.
I didn't realize it was almost 2.5 hours long. I didn't until like, yeah. But you know what? It's become such a part of me. I don't even feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those are the best movies where you can watch it for 2.5, 3 hours and not even notice the clock's running by.
Yeah.
When you get to go to Neverland for a little bit.
We've been talking about it for like 2 hours maybe.
I know this is a long one.
Yeah.
I love that Peter manages to cut like a perfect silhouette of himself out of the sail, like a poster.
Again with the fucking ego of heroes. Every episode that I've done on this podcast, the Batman, I talked about how he sprays his gel in the video games in his symbol. The fucking Punisher with the bombs in the parking lot, dude. What is it with this thing, man?
I just realized that. Yeah, you keep getting like superhero episodes.
Yeah,
that's funny. We got to shake it up next time.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I love the look on Hook's face. It's not like, oh, my enemy's here. It's like, glorious death awaits me.
Yes. Dude, that's another thing. Oh my God, dude. The line is, I think it's in every Peter Pan movie. They say, death is the only great adventure left.
Yeah.
So fucking good. And at the end of this movie, when Peter Pan, he's like, no, life is the only great adventure we have left. Dude, it's so poignant, man. It's so beautiful, man. It's so good.
It's great. It's a great lesson.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love just seeing Hook ready for battle, and just the whole third act, he's got this smile on his face. Like this is all he's wanted for years.
Yes.
It's great. I love the Lost Boys fighting the pirates with like goofy shit, like like an egg gun and a tomato catapult, and somehow they defeat this legion of pirates.
Oh my God. I like how Robin Williams, when they're shooting the pirates with the egg gun, he gets right up next to it and he's like, "Bok, bok." Like, dude. Oh my God.
There's this moment,
other actor.
There's this moment during the fight with Hook where like they stomp on the deck, and Robin Williams does like 2 stomps and a horse noise.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
How do people not like this fucking movie, man?
I don't know. I've enjoyed every second of this discussion.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. It's such
a so during the Thud rolls down the stairs a couple times, knocks over some pirates, gets Crosby in the balls with a plank.
Yeah.
Rufio goes to fight Hook, and Pan's like, no, he's mine. And then here's Maggie, and he's like, I got to deal with this. And Rufio's like,
he's like, yeah. He's like, hey, Dad.
Yeah. Hook's like, Rufio. Like this is almost as personal as Pan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to know that history. I want to read the original draft.
Yeah. Dang, man. I love how. Oh my God. Okay, so I was gonna say Rufio's last words are "Looky, looky, I got a hooky," but it's not.
Oh
Rufio's,
go
Rufio's
ahead.
last words are, "I wish I had a father like you," because his own dad just fucking killed him, dude.
Fuck, dude, how have we never? Oh my!
This
God.
is canon. This is canon.
This is absolutely canon. This is Rufio should be the main character of this movie. We should be seeing all this unfold through him. I think that would be Captain Hook's abandoned son becomes leader of the Lost Boys when Peter Pan disappears. He comes back, usurps Rufio's position. Rufio's jealous at first, but decides it's better for the Lost Boys, and then confronts his father for the last time.
Holy shit. Wait. Whoa. What if Rufio told Tinkerbell to go get Peter Pan so Peter Pan would help Rufio? And the reason he was such an asshole was to make sure that he was ready to be Pan again.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, dude.
I'll buy it.
Dude.
Shit. This is awesome. It's a layer to this film I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
It's only there. If you can only see it if you believe.
Yeah. Oh man.
Rufio's death always hits me.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, first, he's cleaning up, and that I love also watching Hook fight. I love when he like strategically uses the hook.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
That's cool. He's just like, grabbing swords and flinging them away and like attacking with it. It's neat.
Yeah, I'm glad this movie had an actual fight scene in it. Like most like kids movies, like they don't really have like fight scenes, but it was a pretty long fight and the choreography was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, after this is the buildup. This is the war. We want to see the final fight between Peter Pan and Captain Hook. And the film delivers on that.
It definitely does. Yeah.
I love when Pan goes to save Maggie, and that one pirate's like, "Wait a minute, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Peter Pan." The guy just jumps out the window.
Yeah, he's like, fuck her. All right.
I'm not dealing with this.
See, I like my hands. Goodbye.
Oh boy, I love when Pan decides like we're leaving, and Hook's like, "Where are you going? Like, we got to fight. Where are you going?"
Well, yeah, see, because that's why I think that's another reason. I think that's another reason I believe my theory that he wanted Peter Pan to quote unquote kill him so he can run away. Because if Peter Pan leaves, he can't die. He can't leave. So he's like, fuck. He's like, no. He's like, come back, please, don't leave.
Well, if he taunts him, he's like, I'm going to go after your grandkids. I'm going to go after your great grandkids. Like, this isn't over. And that's when Pan's like, I got to deal with this.
Yeah.
That's some taunting. That's some A+ taunt. I think my favorite line in the movie is when Pan says, "What do you want, old man?" And the camera zooms in and Hook just goes, "Just you."
Yeah.
Like the delivery on that, the implications, like, fuck, man, this is what it's about. This is what it's all about. Wow. And then the fight is beautiful.
Just between like when the war is sort of over and it's just Hook and Pan.
Yeah.
It's good. They have good chemistry together. They really do.
Yeah, they were great. Dustin Hoffman was the first one cast, and I guess they just worked with tried to find people who matched his energy, and Robin Williams worked.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't think Tom Hanks could have matched the energy. I don't know.
No. I think he could have played, mild-mannered lawyer Peter Banning, but Pan, I don't think so.
Yeah, I know.
So one of my favorite moments is when Pan bests Hook and hands him his sword, and Hook scratches Pan's arm, and Jack goes, "Bad form."
Yes.
tries to go after him.
Holy shit. Bad form.
Boys are like, "Jack, hold on."
Oh my God.
I've turned bad form into part of my lexicon. Like I use that all the time.
That's great.
Yeah. So Hook falls after Pan uses his clocks to distract him. Love that. He screams. He's like, "Ah!" Like freaking out.
Yeah.
And
I thought he loses his wig.
Yeah, and he's like, "Give me my dignity. You owe me something."
Yeah. Yeah. I when I was looking up stuff for the movie, one of the questions that it was like commonly asked questions about Hook, like unanswered questions, and one of them was, "Why is Hook bald?" And the only answer was, "Because he's old." I was like, "Yeah, that checks out." I mean, yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah,
that's probably depression, hair loss,
yeah,
or something. He's ripping his own hair out from fear.
Yeah.
And Pan gives him an ultimatum, like, "You're gonna get in your ship and you're gonna go, and I never want to hear. I never want to see you in Neverland again." And I love Hook, like a secret sword comes out of his sleeve, and he's like,
Yes.
"I am Neverland."
Yep. So good.
I love the ticking noise that shows up in the score there as they get closer to the crocodile. like, oh boy.
Yeah.
And then it's Tink who saves Pan. Finally, she comes in,
Yep.
stops moping, accepts her place in Pan's life, and just blocks the sword.
Do we see Tinkerbell after that?
Yes, we do. And when Peter gets back to home, she's in the light and she's like, I hope you remember me this time.
So the last time we see her is running into Captain Hook, and then both of them are missing, and then Tinkerbell is back home. I'm telling you, she helped Captain Hook escape Neverland.
Oh my God. I wish we still had Robin Williams. I would start a GoFundMe for a sequel.
Right.
There's got to be other people like us who love this movie.
I hope so. Man.
Next time they're doing that feast, we should go.
Oh yeah, we should go. We're gonna be like that a meme from Always Sunny in Philadelphia with Charlie and the fucking board with all the red yarn and like look. You know what I'm saying? Rufio is Captain Hook's kid, and Captain Hook is still alive.
We're gonna be like if they do a Q&A with like surviving cast members, we'll be asking them like crazy specific questions about lineage. It's great. So yeah, the croc comes to life. Apparently has been waiting for this moment and supposedly eats Hook. I mean, we just see him leap into the croc's mouth with plenty of time to get out of the way.
Yes, he did. He could have crawled away. Nope, he stood there.
Yeah, it's almost like he's either accepting death or this is his escape route, because how could this croc come to life without maybe a little bit of pixie dust, which just got flung onto the statue when she blocked the knife.
Oh, exactly.
Oh my God. She brought the croc to life.
Yeah. I'm telling you, she's in cahoots with the hookster. No, that was disgusting. I'm never saying that again. I'm so sorry.
I wish every episode of this show brought crazy new shit to light that made me reevaluate the film.
I'll tell you what, every episode I'm in, I will try my hardest to connect dots that do not need to be connected.
I'm going to remember that.
Because no, listen. Mr. Magoo's Wonder Report. No, sorry. Forrest Gump is a sequel to Mr. Magoo's Wonder Emporium. I promise you. Is that what it's called? Mr. Magoo? No, what?
Mr. Megorium.
Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
Mr. Magoo's that blind old man who won't get glasses.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
I believe it. I love fan theories about movies that seem like they have nothing to do with each other but are absolutely connected in some way. I eat that shit up.
Oh yeah. What I did see actually on TikTok a couple days ago, and it like blew my mind for like 10 seconds stupidly, but it's every single movie it's so stupid. Every single movie that begins with this movie is based on true events, or this movie is based on a true story, they're all in the same universe. They're all connected because they all really happened in the real world.
That's so stupid, but also so brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course.
You think all Tarantino movies are connected?
100%. He's pretty much the character crossover and the red apple cigarettes and all that shit.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
They were supposed to he was going to do a prequel of Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction with Michael Madsen's character from Reservoir Dogs and Travolta in Pulp Fiction, because they're brothers.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Vic and Vincent Vega. But they both got too old and fat for it to be a believable prequel, so it never happened. Because they're both dead in the movies, so like that ain't happening. Yeah, pretty cool. Did you know that? Have you seen Django Unchained?
Yeah. Django is supposed to be the ancestor of a certain black private dick named Shaft. So, yeah, little stuff like that always makes me smile. That's great. I've started doing that shit in my own work. Like I've written 3 vampire Western novels, and I've got a character in the second book who is a professor who had a little entanglement with a count in Romania.
And yeah, so like he's not, but he is. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's fun to do a little shit like that. So Peter goes home and is a good father now. Moira asks 0 questions about what the hell happened to her kids.
Yeah, that part always kind of weirded me out because like her kids are just like back in bed. Like what?
You think Wendy told Moira like, here's the true story of your husband, and like, by the way, I tried to fuck him.
I'm sure eventually. Yeah. I
mean, after Toodles flies out the window, I imagine Moira wanted some answers.
That's another reason I think when people are like, oh, it was all a dream. Toodles fucking flies out the window.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, okay? Come on.
Yeah. I hope he's an older gentleman, so I imagine his memory isn't quite what it used to be. So I hope he held on to that happy memory, or else there's going to be an old guy splattered in the middle of London.
I like how when he walks into the nursery, he's like, hello, Peter. Missed the adventure again, did I? It's like, whoa. It's like Toodles. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You're speaking normal words right now.
Like, I don't know how much help you would have been, Toodles. I mean,
yeah. Missed the adventure again, did I?
Imagine Peter wouldn't have been able to train to be Pan if he's also babysitting a 90-year-old man the whole time.
Oh,
that's funny. I like to think Toodles did just go back to Neverland. He flew back to Neverland. I like to think he did.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
And they're all like, Toodles? Oh my God. You're ancient. Thud gets to be the new Lost Boys leader. I love that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. He's the only one we really spend any time with.
Yeah, that's true.
Apparently, that was all. Like the kids didn't know who was going to get the sword. Only Spielberg and Williams knew who was going to get the sword. So they're like surprised, and their smiles is all like genuine.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's Thud. It's always going to be Thud.
Yeah, I like how that one kid. He's like, what is that? He's like, what can I be king of? and Peter is like, he's like, bugs, small ones.
I hope that kid takes that super seriously and becomes like the bug king of Neverland.
Becomes the Lord of the Flies.
Oh my God. Oh! Jesus Christ. It's everywhere.
Holy shit.
So that's Hook. It's a masterpiece.
It is.
Here are some Filmgazm facts about the movie. Number 1, the kissing couple on the bridge who begin to float when some fairy dust lands on them as Tinkerbell is taking Peter to Neverland. Remember them?
I don't, but okay.
As they're floating like over London Bridge, pixie dust is just falling and it lands on a couple and they start rising and they kiss.
Yeah.
That's George Lucas and Carrie Fisher.
Are you serious?
Yep. Good friends of Spielberg who were just there. Carrie Fisher did some uncredited rewrites on the script. And George Lucas just follows Spielberg around like a beat dog.
She made rewrites to the script. What did she change?
I don't know. She's done that a lot. She's an uncredited ghostwriter. She's finished off a lot of scripts over the years before passing, of course.
She's gonna erase Rufio's father.
I know she polished a couple Star Wars. I know that.
Huh.
Yeah. So
pretty cool.
She's good, apparently. Also, I just want to throw this out there. David Bowie turned down Captain Hook.
Thank God.
It would have just been Jareth, the Goblin King again.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
Have you done
next? Labyrinth? We did do Labyrinth, yes.
It's such a good movie.
It was cool. It was Josh picked it, and I'd never seen it. No, actually, that was a book pick from the randomizer. I had never seen it. I did it with Josh, and I was like, "This is crazy." And he gave me his giant Labyrinth theory. Like this, that was his hook.
Damn, okay, that's pretty cool.
It's a neat one. I check that one out. It's really fun.
I will, yeah.
Number 2, Spielberg admitted to being disappointed with the final result of the movie. He had such a hard time working with the rebellious crew of young actors that he later said, only somewhat kiddingly, that the experience made him wonder if he wanted to have any more kids.
Oh my God.
which is fucking harsh. It's like,
Holy shit.
I don't know if I want more kids. These kids are such a pain in the ass. He also felt guilty that he wasn't able to find an economical method to filming the many complex human flight sequences in the movie. Like, shit got expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, $300 million gross. I mean, it worked out.
Yeah.
However, after Robin Williams' death, Spielberg says he is now thankful he made this movie, as that was how he met Williams and became good friends with him.
Okay. Yeah.
I read that when Williams died, Spielberg watched Hook in remembrance. He hadn't seen it in years, and he couldn't finish the movie because he was crying so hard.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that hit me. Oh, I had a similar moment when I was watching. I think I was watching Dead Poets Society shortly after he passed, and I had a bit of a moment.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he did that to a lot. He impacted a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Number 3, according to Frank Sinello's biography, Spielberg, Nick Castle was originally attached to direct this movie, and he'd been developing the screenplay for this movie for a long time. Hart and Nick Castle worked together on this. Nick Castle is the writer of Escape from New York, a couple other good movies, and he played Michael Myers in the original Halloween.
Oh,
yeah, and the new one.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's been attached to a lot of cool shit, and he wanted to do Hook. However, once Steven Spielberg expressed interest in being involved, the heads of the studio were like, "Well, Castle can fuck off."
Yeah.
They gave him a 6-figure settlement, gross points, and a screen story credit to step down and let Spielberg direct it. So that is a hell of a payoff.
I wonder how that worked. They walked up to him and like, "Hey, so about the movie you wanted to make, you ever heard of a guy named Spielberg? Because he's going to be making the movie instead of you. Sorry."
I would love to have the kind of clout where I could just go find small productions and be like, I'm going to do this now.
And thank you. I'll take that one and that one.
That's wild. I wonder if like that started a beef, and like, what if Spielberg started like follow Castle around and like steal his productions? Like, just started happening a lot. I don't know what happened, but I know Nick Castle made a lot more money than he probably would have if he made the movie. Because I mean, Nick Castle's a great writer. He's directed a couple things, but he's no Spielberg.
Yeah.
I give Hook a 10. I've loved this movie my whole life. I don't care what anyone says. It's one of Spielberg's best movies as far as I'm concerned. Now I have a whole new appreciation for it because this is a dark fucking movie disguised as fairy tale.
Yeah, it fucking is. I give it a 10. This is probably my all-time favorite movie. I'm never gonna get tired of it, and I'm sure that I ruined it for whoever's listening, but man, every time I watch it, I find something new, and I'm gonna keep finding new shit about the movie. And if you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. There is.
Yeah. You're a pirate, and you can fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. Yeah.
Oh boy, this was a absolute blast. This has been one of my favorite episodes I've ever done.
Well, thank you for letting me be a part of it, and I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I want to thank everybody for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you like what we do, you can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Filmgazm Productions. You can email us at filmgazm@gmail.com to send us suggestions or feedback, or you can send us a message to the socials. You can check out our website, filmgazm.com, where we have articles, reviews of films. Check out the Hall of Tens. We have every episode of our show, new trailers, all sorts of stuff. And if you want to support the show through Anchor, you can click on support this podcast on your podcast provider. We love donations. Next week, we are getting potentially the greatest Nick Cage movie of all time with The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It also made me realize we have never done a Nicolas Cage movie on the Filmgazm podcast. What? I know. I couldn't believe it myself. We've done Leaving Las Vegas on Oscar Sunday, and we've done Pig and Prisoners of the Ghostland on the sneak preview, but we've never tapped into the Cage well on the flagship show. We've never done it. We've come so close several times, but it's never been done. So
you gotta do like Vampire's Kiss.
That's going on the Beyond the Bad show. I fucking hate that movie. One of the weirdest movies I've ever seen, but definitely for the future, going to go on that show.
Have you seen?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Have you seen
Go ahead.
Color Out of Space?
I did. That was weird.
Dude, that movie's so good. It's weird, but man, it captures H.P. Lovecraft so well.
We've had, there's so many options to do. We could do Mandy. We could do Con Air. We could do Knowing, one of my personal favorites. But there is one Cage movie that, to me, stands slightly above the rest.
National Treasure.
Not quite, but I do love it.
I'm just kidding.
Doing Face Off.
Oh, man. There you go. That is, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Cage versus Travolta, terrorist versus federal agent. And then they swap faces and it's federal agent versus terrorist. Who's who? I don't know. Yes, I do, because I watched the movie. It's a great movie and it's awesome. And I'm so excited to finally do Cage here. That's going to be so much fun. It's an action classic, one of Cage's best movies, and the perfect film to ring in Cage's epic comeback. Oh, it's going to be a great week. Don't miss Nothing But Trouble on Fridays Beyond the Bad, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 on Oscar Sunday, and the latest Fantastic Beasts film on Monday's sneak preview. Until then, never stop believing in fairies, hold on to your happy thoughts, and keep watching movies.